No, he didn't.
It's just
Sneaky.
I have it recorded in my notebook of life. Oh.
Oh, I should pull my notes. That's
Yeah. That should be where we start, is what happened last session. You know, because I'm good at this. This is what I do.
Spencer campaign, D&D stuff. Session 5. Whoa, we've done 5 sessions already.
You have done 5 sessions already. Does it feel like it?
No.
Oh.
In a good way.
Oh, okay.
If you let me make that an 8, it'd be in a great way.
I'm fine with good. I'll take good.
Last session was called Bloodlines.
It was.
I believe I have 3 pages of notes.
Goodness.
Let's blaze through these then.
Blaze that trail.
I tend to hog the recaps if someone else wants to do it.
Go.
Oh, okay. Captain Revenues. No, the
Vernus.
Captain.
This is a good start.
Captain uses green alchemite himself, which is very interesting. We don't really know where the magic comes from. The Dwarn know the most about alchemite, so that's kind of another thing pointing to the direction of the Dwarn. We were curious about the climate in the area because of the way the buildings were set up and if there was any sort of magical happenings with the city, like kind of trying to figure out why all the people disappeared. But it's just a dry climate in an area by the coast. Nothing weird seems to have happened from what we could find.
Mm-hmm.
We as a group examined Revan's compass. Felix was able to tell that there's some sort of latent magic in the compass that's supposed to be blocked, which turned out to be true, which we'll talk about later. We approached the temple, the Eln effigy statue temple in the south of the main part of the city, made of sandstone. Huge cathedral, about 300 feet high, longer than wide. It's got a big dome and a bell tower. Big wooden front doors. The temple is immaculate, well made, and very well preserved. Large open area beyond the doors has female Eln statues, immaculate statues of Eln women. The statues themselves stand out as unique. As in, the Dwarn made pretty much everything except the statues, which is kind of what we concluded. It seemed a bit odd. Lots of redundant stuff. There's a big table in the center. It's undecorated, completely undecorated. We learned that the Eln don't really view art in the same way that the other races do. They understand why it exists, but they don't really practice it because it's not practical. The left room, right after entering the temple, is locked. The right one has stairs going up. The next 2 doors were open with nothing in them aside from like tents and stuff, because that's where the workers were camping. The rooms were built and never used, which is also strange. The bell tower offers miles long range across most of the coast and the city, which is pretty cool. And after a really, really nice perception check by Tizol, we managed to find that there's a cursive D on the bell, almost imperceptible on the bottom lip. And it has been barely used. The bell has been, maybe hasn't even been rung once, but we can't tell.
And after that, we figured out that the mark on the bell and the mark on the compass
Yes.
were the same.
We're the same.
Yes.
Yep.
Probably made by the same person.
Tizal really wants to ring the bell.
Right. Tizol wants to ring.
Left that out. Pretty important plot hook.
We also found out that Felix's gear has a scorpion on it, because he was talking about craftsman's signatures, and that's kind of his thing, scorpions. Good to know. We asked the captain who knows the most about history, and it's either the Magister or the Dwarn. Kind of what we already knew, but good to have that solidified.
Yeah, Revan also told us the background of his pistol.
Yes.
Kind of some of the power behind it.
Yes.
I can take over for a little bit if you want to break up.
Yeah, go for it.
From there, feel free to interject if I miss anything. Council and Tizal, I think we go to the locked door from the entrance on the left-hand side. Council looks through the keyhole to see a stairwell headed down. Wander turns into a spider and sneaks into the locked door through the keyhole and starts basically exploring that stairwell going straight down. And temperature drops, it gets colder the further down he goes. All the while he's timing it to make sure that he can get basically half as far as he can and halfway, knowing he's going to transform back into his normal self in an hour or so. He just keeps on finding more doors and more corridors. Wander comes back and explains that to us. And we tell Captain Verneth. Did I miss anything there?
The bottom of the stairs was a very long hallway. One of them kind of sloping downwards that we couldn't explore because it just went on for ages.
Right. Yep. Then after we explain that to Captain Verneth, we start heading back and eventually camp for the evening in a building a few hours outside of the gate. Felix and Council discuss the upgrades Council requested to his gear.
Yes.
Felix knows that alchemite needs to be exposed to an element for it to be imbued. We take watches for the evening. Everyone does an amazing job keeping watch. Nobody falls asleep.
No one, not a single person.
Not a single bird person in particular. We wake and head back to the city. We get to the gate and the sigils are not on, quote unquote. From at least the side that we're on. We can't see that the sigils are lit up. Captain Vernus calls for the guards to let us in, and they do so, and we head to the academy to see a line of people waiting with collars on.
One thing that did happen when we woke up is Revan's gun is slightly more sparkly, and his new saber now matches what his old saber looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of got some replacements and upgrades.
And his dragon is gone.
Yeah.
The pseudo dragon is gone.
Ezreal's gone.
Because we deep fried it.
Probably monsters.
Tastes like chicken.
Some Creole seasoning.
Mm-hmm. We wait. Council eavesdrops on some conversations of the people in front of us in the line, and he gathers that more assassination attempts have happened. One on Lady Margaret herself. There's been a mass exodus of the Isles due to the danger. Council asked them a few questions. I don't remember exactly what he asked.
It's just some people are leaving willingly because of all the hubbub, and some people being forced off because of paranoia. That's about it.
Yep. So eventually we're let in. We go in, see the arch magister. He's happy to see us. He pulls some clear stones from an urn in the back of the room, and he transfers the infusion from the alchemite on our collars to those clear stones.
Freedom necklaces.
Freedom necklaces. Like freedom fries.
Yeah.
Better.
Maybe better for you.
Yeah, better for us.
Yeah.
One is bad calorically, one will make your head explode. The collars come off easily. Tizal asks about compensation further than just for freedom, and he gives us a stick with a red stone on the end of it, as it's his most prized possession. Since gold or coin are not really a thing in Orn, it seems as though a stick can absorb or expel fire, and Felix hangs onto it.
Yeah, did you ever share what it does, Felix?
I don't think so.
No, Felix has it, and we know it's somehow linked to fire. That's it.
That's all we know.
Yeah.
I mean, you can either share it now or share it later, or never share it. It's up to you.
Oh, you actually got the stats of the
It'll get shared.
The boomstick? Okay.
Yeah, he got stuff on it.
Cool.
The boomstick.
Cool.
I really should have called it that. I missed the opportunity.
Gotta get in that Alatan mindset, yeah. And we asked the Magister lots of questions.
Yeah, tons and tons of questions.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
All right.
Did we go over the origin of the compass?
I think we did that last.
Very last thing was Revan's vision.
Very last thing,
Yeah.
last session.
We asked about the temples. The Archmagister didn't know anything about it. None of his books mentioned the temples.
They did try to get in through the locked door because there's one also in the city proper a temple. They couldn't open it by force. They tried all sorts of means to open it, so it must be... It's not magical, but I don't know. There's something weird going on there.
Right. When they first explained it, it seemed like, well, why didn't you just try harder? But then it was like, okay, wait, there's greater forces at work here.
Yeah. The Elm Temple tunnels seemed to head parallel with the roads that head toward the center of the city. So we think that the temples may be linked underground, which would be interesting. The Magister said something about an entrance near the wall. I don't remember what specifically that was. He might be able to think that we can get in from out there. We'd have to poke around a bit more.
Yeah, I think it's like the entrance, one entry point into the underground tunnel system that he said he believed was near the wall.
Okay, yeah. And then as soon as he sees the compass, he's completely enamored. He saw it before with another man that came through town with it on him. He mumbles something and closes his eyes and hands it back to Revan, and the compass works now because the latent magic energy was bound to someone else, and because that someone is no longer present for one reason or another, it became inert, and so he unbound it and gave it to Revan. The
That
prior holder
man
is probably dead, and that man turned out to be Charlie, or Charles, Tizol's probable friend. He arrived with a compass and said it was given to him by the sea. The thought plickens. Charles went to
I don't like that.
The plot thickens.
Not one bit.
Charles went to help with the wall for a day and came back and then left to sea. That's all we know. The compass is pointing at Revan. Charles said it points toward whatever the attuned individual was most desiring. So Revan needs a mirror.
Yeah, that I'm very confused by that.
stupid, sexy warlocks.
He is charisma based.
He's got the tight pants on and he's shaking his butt.
Alright, be delicious. Anyway,
Nothing
Me
else.
booty.
oh yeah,
It's a treasure indeed.
Let's move on. All right.
we found out the mind alchemite is clear and sometimes changes colors on its own. They can be infused, but we don't know where the green color comes from. There's some other weird elements that people haven't figured out yet. New Orin might be the best way to go. Moving on from here.
Yeah, I think that's our plan.
The man in charge of New Orin has some talent for fire, apparently. And we got some fresh alchemite pieces given by the Magister because Council asked nicely.
Were they clear ones? I don't remember.
Yeah, they're clear.
Are they? Okay, they're not imbued with some.
No,
Okay.
it's prepayment for helping out with New Orin.
Give us 5 pieces to be exact.
Yes. Raven drops.
Yeah, the compass attunes to Revan.
Oh,
Revan
Revan.
drops.
Why don't I have Raven?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Raven droppings. Oh, that's Tizol.
Tis all poops. That's the name of the session.
a 6-minute montage of him pooping.
Yeah.
With Carmina
It's on-
Burana playing in the background.
Yeah.
Push it
So
to
that's where the
Wander comes over and pats him on the back and says, "Good job pooping."
So
Yeah, Revan drops after the compass attunes to him, and he has a vision of a slab table with 6 figures standing over him, one a representation of each race. There's a Daeron that has a compass in his hands, and he slams the compass down onto the table and says something along the lines of, "He will perform this challenge and show them all."
Yeah,
And I
you don't
believe
think I
he's
can do it? You don't think I can do this challenge? I will do it. I will show you all. Something like that.
that's what the Iran said, correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
The
Correct.
Iran's hand was almost, it was more talon-like as well. And his arms weren't attached to his wings, unlike Tizol.
Was it? I don't know if it was. I suppose it probably wasn't clear in the vision, but I wrote down like maybe that was Charles. Did it seem like that could? Was it clear or unknown if that would be Charles or not? Or am I just kind of confusing the interpretation of that?
I think only Tizal knows what Charles looks
Yeah,
like.
right.
only
Tizal-
Charlie.
No, I know he.
Charlie's a Hune. I've said that before.
So I don't want table talk. But yeah, I'll wait till the vision is shared and council.
I'm crossing out that thought. That's good to know. I just I was trying to put it all together right at the end, and
Yeah.
We can RP the conversation of the vision
Yeah.
because that's where it ended.
As with normal, council has thoughts.
Yeah. So was the final thing that Revan is out cold? Is that how the final scene?
Yeah, how it ended was Revan collapsed in the street. You guys were walking either to go see the new Smith or
Smith.
to get something to eat.
Did we notice him, or did we just leave him in the street?
So while you were all walking together, we didn't get to the end of it. If you just left him or not.
I just keep.
You would have been wise to keep walking. Just
Yeah.
to throw it out there.
Okay.
Just part ways now. Tear that band-aid off.
Oh, it is a piano music.
Ooh, what's the session title?
This session is titled "Dearly Cursed."
Can I fast forward to the next session?
You can try.
Oh no.
But we won't know how Council dies then.
You cast time warp and you end up dead.
Oh no. Let's do the time warp. I'm dead.
Alex is on point today.
Yeah.
I've had a repressed week.
Yeah.
I need to get it out.
All right. So you're in the street, and Revan has just collapsed. Revan, you have just had this vision.
What do we see while he's having the vision? In real time, is it quick, or does he like twitch, or does it look like he's unconscious?
He's unconscious for like maybe 15 seconds.
Okay.
It's not terribly long. It's about the length of the vision that he had.
Okay.
And there is, it's like minor twitching. It's almost like you're like the shaking that you do like in the night, like if you dream that you're falling off of something.
Oh, okay.
Not the shaking that I do in the night, the shaking you guys do in the night.
Goodness.
Oh, gosh.
Too soon.
Council turns, and as Revan is shaking, he just kind of just tilts his head and watches for a few seconds.
Is
he
dead? Did he die again? Should we move?
Well, he's twitching a little bit.
I certainly don't know. Whatever happens with humans is foreign to me. Is this a normal human thing, or is this?
About that
No.
time, Captain Revan, you
We're just standing on him like, what do we do?
I just extend both middle fingers.
Someone put a wallet in his mouth.
I walk up to Revan. Captain Revan, are you well?
I don't know. Darkness overcame me again. I think I need to sit down.
I would suggest somewhere other than the street.
I
like this headcanon where Council still hasn't helped him stand up. He's just talking to him on the ground.
I start attempting to stand on my own. Do I have my full strength? Is it difficult?
Oh, yeah. You feel perfectly fine.
Okay. So yeah, I kind of get back up. I don't know what. He cuts himself off. I'm going to head back to the inn.
Has this happened before?
It did. It has.
Is this related to your compass, do you think?
I do.
I
He,
presume we'll talk about it later.
Yeah. That may be best. Somewhere out of the middle of a town street.
Council Ball.
Finish our business for the day, and we'll share more with you this evening.
Felix just starts walking towards the inn.
Did you bring enough for the rest of the class?
That looks so good. Oh yes.
Tacos? Nachos? What is
Is
it?
that all homemade?
Yeah, tacos.
This is now
Yum.
turned into what is Luca eating?
Yeah.
I love
Keep
how
your
we're
camera
moving in
on.
our chairs. Like, what is it? What is
I know, I'm trying to talk up on the plate.
I've minimized the stream and maximized Luca. No. Keep them. Oh, they're steaming too.
Yeah, they're steamy boys. Tacos.
Everyone's wives are like, what are they doing?
Tacos.
No,
Then you got
show it.
Oh, that looks so good.
Closer to the
Text-
camera.
Tex-Mex
Put this on
roasted
food porn later.
zucchini.
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yes.
I love zucchini.
Me too.
Good stuff.
That was Tizal saying that. I love zucchini.
All right, I'm bringing Tizzle offerings of zucchini.
Some of my best friends are zucchinis.
That was good. That was good.
If you were a cleric, Barnabas, we could have Veggie Tales going on.
Revan starts just casually making his way towards the inn.
Okay.
Council watches him to make sure he doesn't fall over again, and then starts heading to the blacksmith.
Okay. Where are Tizal and Wander going?
I'm going off video for a little bit,
Okay.
but I'm following the group.
Well, how will we know how delicious your food
Splitting
is?
up.
Oh, they're splitting up.
Yeah, Captain Revan just said he was going back to the inn, and Council said he is going to the blacksmith.
And what time of day is it again?
Oh yeah,
This is about noon.
yeah. I also want to head to the blacksmith.
I'll go to the inn, keep Revan company.
I'll be at the inn this evening if you want to join me.
I go to the blacksmith as well. I'm just curious.
Okay. Sure. So we will get to those who. Well, so Captain Revan going to the inn. Is there anything in particular you want to do there, or you just want to try and relax?
No, he might have just a small bit of food, probably go to his room, relax for a bit.
Okay.
Just, even though he feels fine, that's still kind of a crazy thing to have happened. So just kind of clearing his mind and chilling out for a little bit and, waiting for the party to come back in the evening.
Blacking out is never easy.
Yeah. You would know.
Oh, too soon, Adam.
Like how Adam
Why would
gets
you
it for
joke
that.
about
My
something like
wallet
that?
joke was just fine.
Right.
Hey, don't pull Spencer's leg. Okay, that's too specific. I apologize. That's too specific.
Wait, I don't.
Good.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, whatever. So those people, I'm all flustered.
Yeah, that's fine.
Some people are going to the blacksmith. What are you doing? Where are you going to look for the blacksmith?
Whoever told us it was somewhere in the market area, kind of in the center.
In the center.
So gonna go poke around there.
Okay. Yeah. So the Grand Magister, he told you that it is likely somewhere close to the center of town.
Right.
He didn't know exactly where. The actual square around the temple in the middle of town, most of the buildings there are taken, and there are a couple other stalls that are set up as well, just because those buildings are taken.
Okay.
So you get there, and pretty quickly you find that she is not here. So you'd have to start looking off into other roads to try and find her.
Is there smoke coming from anywhere? That would make it easier to kind of.
Make me a
I was gonna
perception
ask
check.
that too.
Yeah. Make me a perception check.
11 plus 4, 15.
15.
I got 19.
19. You guys don't see smoke anywhere.
Oh.
Nowhere on the horizon. With a 19, though, you, Felix, you do hear above the sound of other people talking and walking around and doing things salesy in the market area, you do hear the sound of like pickaxe on stone. So that there is some odd like work sound that is coming just slightly north of the square that you've located.
Oh, they said they were setting up a blacksmith, not that there was a blacksmith. Okay, I think I remember now.
Yep.
Maybe I was guessing.
Either way, we should go investigate that.
Yeah, I follow Felix.
Okay. And Wander, you're with him as well, right?
Yep.
Okay. You make your way just north of town. If you look at the picture of of Orin, there is the spot number 2 in the middle of town, which is the temple, and then there's kind of the like mile square around it, and the 2 mile square around that. It's not even to like the first tick outside, so you're like barely have to go a block north, and you like head down like a little side alley, and you can find there is most of these buildings are about the same size. There's one that is slightly larger than the others, and on the roof you do hear the sound of someone with a pickaxe hammering away at something. If you look up, you will notice that Joan is up there. She's got her like kind of dirty blonde hair like tied back in a ponytail. She's got kind of overalls on, and she is swinging a pickaxe at the roof of this building.
Okay.
Yeah.
Could we see her?
Yeah, from the street you can see her. These buildings, they're like maybe 10, most of them about 10, 15 feet tall.
Okay. I wave.
She notices you. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
Say what?
I'm just gonna head inside.
Okay. When she sees you approaching, she like puts the pickaxe down, kind of wipes the sweat off of her brow, and waves as well. Felix, when you go inside, you'll notice that there is there's a small opening, not very large. The walls of these buildings are remarkably thick, like, I don't know, 8 inches to a foot thick. And there is a hole that she has punctured through, and you can see a small pile of debris underneath where she's been working. Kind of like off to one side of this room. Inside the actual building itself, there are no other like interior walls. There's no internal decorations, no furniture, anything. It's literally just kind of a big open space, and this place where she is picking away at the roof. There is the only like notable features is a window on the front wall and a doorway that you were able to enter in. Doorway has no door, nothing like that. It's just open, very similar to Captain Reichert's abode.
Sure. We hear you're setting up a smithy here.
She makes her way to the edge of the building up top, to the edge of the roof, and she basically like lowers herself down, stands on the windowsill, and then like stands down from that and comes inside to join you. She says, "I'm sorry, yes, I am there is no smith here in town, and so I thought that was a good opportunity to use my skills for helping."
Such will be valuable in a very short amount of time.
I would have use of a smithy, or at least the equipment here. I too am a smith myself.
Oh,
I could help you set up a bit.
that would be marvelous. Yes, I'm lacking in materials. I had to go and to trade something, like my only possession, for this pickaxe, so that I could start working. after I get that, I will try go and get some ore from the mountains or trade from Dorn in town, so that I can start to make the furnace.
We will most likely have use of your services in the future. So any aid we may provide during the setup process will benefit all of us, I believe.
Yes, I will gladly take any help you can offer. Thank you. That is very kind.
We might be heading to the mountains at some point, and if we see any ore, we could let you know or bring it back ourselves.
Well, this would also be very, very great. Thank you.
Would
I'm
you
not
ever-
sure how quickly I will be able to have this ready. It is certainly taking longer than I thought to even get this first step done.
Would you have any use for scrap metal?
Certainly.
Yes.
Yes, if you are able to come across some, I would take it.
During our travels, we may encounter discarded weapons and armor. Bringing those back for you for starting supplies may be more valuable than other means.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you. I'm sorry, I do not have anything to offer you to drink or anything. This is kind of only my second day here doing this.
You are kind to even think of such.
It is something that was raised into me. She kind of wipes some grime off of her face.
In order to finish your forge, what do you need immediately?
What I need immediately is hole in the roof. Somewhere for stack to go out to get rid of smoke. And I need ore to be able to start making the forge itself.
That's why you're letting the rain in through the roof. This is starting to make more sense to me now.
Yes, not for drinking, although that may come in handy.
Very well. I believe that is all we wanted to check on.
Yes, is there anything else that I can help you with?
I'm afraid we don't have a pickaxe to help you. But if you need things moving around, we could certainly help with that.
I will keep you in mind when the time comes.
I may be able to help you in about a week. I will return then.
She kind of looks quizzically at you, not understanding.
I've recently exerted effort doing something that requires much recuperation. When I am recovered, I will return and offer what I can.
Oh,
Now, other people catching
Wonder
up on this, she is even more confused.
You mean to say you can only do that once a week, and you used it to build a rubble wall?
It was our duty at the time. There are a few things more important than duty.
Suit yourself.
I appreciate your time, Mr. Jones. We will be
We'll
on the
check
lookout
in.
for things that may help you.
Thank you very much. Actually, immediately, if one of you could help me to get back on the roof, that would be very helpful.
Council
kind of like-
looks to wander.
Yeah, I was like, she kind of looks towards Wander.
you're prepared?
Yes.
Okay.
She
Wander
grabs the
just
pickaxe.
Wander grabs her and hoists her up.
Immediately, she just, I did. Oh. Grabs onto throws the pickaxe up onto the roof, grabs the ledge, and pushes herself up. For her slight frame, she's stronger than she appears, and is able to get herself up with rather little effort once you get her to where you're able to reach. And she continues.
I imagine Wanda not knowing how fragile humans are and like lawn darting her. Just like
Go along, lady.
Someone just got yeeted.
all right, yeah, I'd since there's nothing practical here, that's gonna go back to the tavern, I guess.
Okay.
Trying to think if there's anything else we needed to do. Not really.
Okay. Tizal, you were traveling with Captain Revan. Was there anything in particular you wanted to do, or just keep an eye on him, keep him company?
Keep an eye on him, keep him company. Then after seeing him safely get into his room, go down to the tavern, have some drinks, talk to the crew of the Nightingale, whoever's around.
Okay.
Just in general, keep an eye out on the situation and make sure everything's okay.
Sure. You don't have to make any rolls or anything, but so throughout the day you don't see any members of the Nightingale come past. They frequent this location on special occasions, but they don't like come down every single day or anything. So you're not able to see them. A couple patrons do come in from time to time. Mostly you see Molly, and you see her daughter there, and the two owners of the Wolf and Hound are also there as well, and they just are kind of doing busy work.
Two owners? Have we met the owners before?
No, I gave you guys the opportunity, and you didn't want to talk to them.
Oh, I thought Molly was one of the. Oh, she was just working there. That's right.
Yeah,
Just a
she's
worker.
just
Yeah.
taking up work there, but she does not own it.
I would approach the owners. Well, I guess would I recognize them as the owners, or would I just think they're staff?
You wouldn't know that they're owners just by looking at them. They're literally just look like kind of. There's two guys who own the place together, or who also work there. One with kind of longer, oily, kind of gross hair, and one who has like more of a horseshoe situation, also very like kind of oily and gross. They mostly just kind of stand behind the bar and they move things around and are working in the back. And one of them is definitely more like the tavern keep, and one is more the cook.
Okay, is one like keeping tavern right now? It's not like Molly or anything.
So Molly is she's cleaning up. She's taking care of dishes and like cleaning up after patrons, making sure everyone, like if anyone has orders or whatever, she's doing that. But there is one gentleman who is taking care of the bar area more than.
Yeah, I'd probably go up there and order a drink from him directly.
Okay, sure. When you go up to the bar, you see the longer-haired gentleman again, like very like oily, almost like crimped hair, standing behind the bar area. You can see actually that he is like kind of adjusting a barrel into place, kind of like nudging it to where it needs to be so that he can like put a tap on and like start actually serving drinks from it. So he's kind of like crouched behind the bar. When he sees you walk up, he like stands up, kind of grabs a rag off of his like belt and wipes off his hands. Puts his hands down on the counter and just leans in and says, "What can I do for you?"
I would like a drink.
What kind?
Ale.
Your luck, it's all we got.
Then why?
It's gonna be a
ask?
minute. I haven't hooked it up yet. Is that all right?
Yes.
What's your name? And he kind of crouches down and begins to work on the barrel again.
Here I am known as Dizol.
You got a different name elsewhere?
Yes, it's. I have been told it is upsetting, so I will not say. Dizol will do.
All right.
What
Well-
is your name?
Name's Stefan.
Stefan, are you working off a debt? I do not see a collar.
No, I've been here for a number of years. When I originally showed up, I worked as well. I set up this tavern with my brother, who's the cook. We set it up together, and we've just kind of fell into a life here.
Do you like life in Oren?
It's better than the life I had back on Pollux.
Ah, you as well. I too came here from Pollux.
Oh, are you a prisoner?
Yes,
Oh, I just grew up there.
in prison.
My father was a warden.
Oh, which?
Jones.
Was that the warden in charge when I was there? Or is he like?
Different guy.
Okay. Joe, I do not know of a Warden Jones.
He's been dead 6 years. Kind of the reason we left Pollux.
Understandable. You came with just your brother.
Right?
What is his name?
Name's David. At that point, he's done setting up the things that he needs to. He kind of grabs a mug from underneath the counter, fills it up, slides down a thing of ale towards him.
Grabs it, takes a drink. I assume you have seen many people pass through Oren.
Aye.
Do you know of a man named Charlie who came here from Pollux?
Charlie.
A hewn man.
Sounds familiar. What do he look like?
They all hewn look alike to me.
That's racist.
A little bit. But I'm stalling because Luca doesn't remember what he looks like. He explains what he looks like.
Charlie, when you knew him, almost looks like Jeff Bridges in Big Lebowski.
Oh,
like
the
like
dude?
long hair, kind of like gross beard, but just like super chill, nice dude.
He drank White Russians.
What's a Russian? Not sure on that.
Don't worry. That's my sense of humor. He looked like Jeff Bridges.
Oh yeah, I know that guy. Yep.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yes.
Yep. Yes. I do seem to recall him coming through. Must have been a month or two ago. Don't know. Memory's getting kind of fuzzy.
I have reason to believe he may have died.
I'm sorry to hear that. Was he a friend of yours?
It's a roommate, some would say.
Oh, he was another prisoner.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Can you tell me much of his presence here? Did he hang with anyone in particular? Did he do or say anything that stood out? I am trying to piece together some information that might be relevant to our situation.
Can't say anything sticks up about him. Wasn't here very long. I think he went, did his one day of adventuring, right? He seemed more the adventurous sort. And he was gone after that. Never saw him again.
Okay.
You hungry? Do you need something to eat?
Do you have berries? Fish, perhaps?
We got fish. Hold on. He goes in the back. You hear him. They've kind of got like the old Western like saloon doors between like the front and the back. He pushes those, and you hear him talking to somebody in the back. He comes out. It says, "My brother David. He makes the best fish. We'll have it ready in about 10 minutes."
What do you mean ready? It's ready now.
He's gonna cook it.
Cook? Why? I don't need it cooked. On plate cold is fine.
Make me a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion. 17.
Oh, jeez.
Goes. All right. I'll be right back. He again walks behind the saloon doors. And comes back with just a whole fish, not even like prepared, gutted, anything, just on like a cold plate. Sets it down. He holds up like a knife and fork. Is like, need anything?
Fish plenty. Thank you.
All right. How about your friend back there? Does he need anything?
He's resting. He had a bit of an episode, so to speak.
Maybe I'll have David make him a sandwich. She can bring him later, or Molly can bring it to him.
Yes, that would be helpful. Thank you.
Sure.
May I have another ale, please?
Oh, yeah, sure. He bends down, gets another one out for you. Says, don't go too crazy. It's still pretty early.
Don't worry. He's going to leave the ale. He's going to eat. He's going to leave the ale, the new one he brought over, untouched until after he's done.
Okay.
He's going to take it outside.
Whoa. You can't take that outside.
I'll bring back, I promise.
All right.
He's going to go empty his water skin outside.
Okay.
Which I think it takes 1 gallon per round. So yeah. So I'm going to be out there for
a while.
30 times 6.
180.
180, yeah. He's going to be out there for 180 seconds emptying it, and then he's going to fill the contents. Yeah, he's going to fill he's going to basically empty the mug into the water skin and bring the mug back, set it down. Because up until now, he didn't do that, so it was only his reserve from Pollux. So he's been drinking toilet wine.
His toilet wine. Okay.
From fermented oranges.
It seems fitting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just being a jerk.
So you take it outside, empty out your wineskin, and fill it up with some ale. Which point you bring back in the empty tankard, set it down on the counter.
Was it like a bucket of toilet wine outside?
Was that like several gallons?
30.
30
gallons of
30 gallons of toilet wine, just like out in the street now.
It looks like someone dropped a barrel.
And
it probably smells. Yeah, it smells awful. Oh my gosh.
You can see because like even though you walked away from like the front door, it has definitely like seeped down along the wall and is like it's close to creeping inside the tavern.
It's like it's cursed kimchi outside.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, he would then just kind of go back in, keep an eye on them, and just wait for the others to return.
Okay. Assuming nobody else wants to do anything today.
On the way back,
Oh.
Council's going to pause with Felix and Wanda.
Okay.
I need to find a woodworker. I will meet you back at the tavern. If that is all right.
Oh, what
Fair
do you
enough.
need a woodworker for?
I apologize, Wanda, but it is. Is there another material I could use instead? Oh, leather could work. I need an object of a specific size and dimensions. It does not have to be wood. I did not mean to offend.
Wood is a very useful material. There's no question about that.
Well, bone and leather would work as well.
Yes.
Either way, I need something.
I do have experience working with bone.
Do you have any? It would be difficult to find bone at the dimensions that I require. 6 by 8 inches. Flat. More like a sheet.
What are you making?
I have a project that requires a level of delicacy, and having a stable surface would be ideal. And since our smith is not prepared, something else would be preferred.
Y'all are very mysterious. If you could just tell us what you're trying to do, we might be able to help you out better, but keep your mysteries. As long as the wood is ethically sourced, I'm fine with it.
It is, right. I will reveal more in time. I apologize.
All right.
I'm going to go to the market. And we're already there. I'm going to go look for a tanner.
Okay.
Or a carpenter. Whoever I find first.
Felix and Wander, you make your way back to the inn, and you see this barrel of toilet wine that's been spilled in the middle of the street. Council, you are able to find there is a merchant. There's actually a dwarven who has set up, not in one of the buildings, but in just kind of one of the off stand-up shops off to the side, who's got, you can see like draped over his little counter in front of him, he's got different like furs and skins and stuff like that.
Okay.
That are draped out. He looks kind of like your best bet.
Okay. Yeah, I'll stop by. Do you want to roleplay this, or should I just ask him what you want?
What are you looking for?
Council is looking for a 6 by 8 2 sheets of leather, 6 inches by 8 inches.
Okay. He's able to give you just like a tanned like deer skin, basically.
Okay. Does it look like it's gonna last through being wet and a little bit like travel worn?
He assures you it's been treated.
Okay. I have some poison bolts. Is there anything I can trade with him? What else did I find?
He would take the poison bolts. That would help with the hunting that he's doing.
All 3 of them? How many does he want?
He'd probably take 2.
2? Yeah, I'll give
trade
you
you 2 for the deer.
Yeah, I'll do that. So I have 1 poison bolt left. Okay.
Now he's got 2 poison bolts, 2 non-poison bolts.
Yep. Cool. All right. Thank you. I'll put those in my bag and head to the tavern.
Okay. Everybody is back at the tavern.
When Felix gets back, he approaches Tizal, and he pulls out the wand that we got. He kind of twirls it around in his hand, and he says, This would probably be best in your hands, actually. You probably have the best vantage point of anyone.
What does it
And
do?
Are you like at a table or what bar?
I'm probably sitting at the bar still if I was
Right.
waiting for you guys to come back.
He slides it down the bar to you. It shoots a very small fireball, like a firebolt. You can shoot it a couple times a day, and it'll recharge. However, if you want to see something really go boom, you can overcharge it. But it'll cost. You can only do it a certain amount of times before it's done.
What do you want from me for such a treasure? Why me?
I've got no use for it, and it was payment to our party.
Okay.
And assuming we stick together in these future missions,
I am indebted to no one. Please drink from my wine sack.
just kill the things in front of me. That's all I need.
Please don't. It's good ale. I promise. It's not like the disgusting stuff you smelled outside. I promise.
he takes some.
It actually tastes kind of like a mixture of the toilet stuff outside.
Council walks in and says, "Why does outside smell like Tizzle's breath?"
Yes.
And he goes to the table.
Are we going? Yeah, I would follow to a table to kind of get away from the bar.
And I go sit by Revan.
Yeah, So when you were doing that, Stefan wasn't he wasn't behind the bar. He was outside, like moving stuff around the alley.
And Revan's in his room.
Oh, okay. Then I just sit at a table and relax, kind of ruminate on all the interesting things we've learned.
I would join and fill them into Stefan and David being the owners and like having a history here on Pollux and this being their tavern and kind of saying like, you know, they might be good resources for if we have some questions about local life.
Is there a place for Wander to sit where there's some sunlight coming in?
Yeah. So at this point, the tavern, the door is open to the west, and while it's getting towards the afternoon, the sun is coming in that direction. So if you were to sit at one of the tables that's probably closer to the door, you could probably catch a fair amount of sunlight on your back through either the doorway or through the window.
Wander is pretty conspicuously like shifting himself to stay in the sun.
Okay.
Is my shield reflective?
No, it's not.
You have the mirror shield.
No, I was gonna like position it so we could like a little moving beam for Wander. You know?
We decided to go to this New Orin next. Is that right?
I believe that is what we told the Magister. Yes.
I would like to pay that tower a visit beforehand. The bell tower.
Oh God.
In the temple?
Yes. I have an idea of how to get by the door.
Very well. As long as we do not blow anything up.
Oh, nothing will be blown up. What gives you that idea?
Tizal's waving the wand.
Yeah, Council looks at Tizal and back to Felix.
He like waves his finger at his.
Wow.
Before we set off for New Orin, Felix and Council, you are better with words. Might be beneficial to ask David and Stefan what they know of this Jason in New Orin.
Surprising wisdom coming from you, Tizal. That's a good idea.
Intelligence, not strength. Wisdom, not too shabby.
Duly noted.
I need to go use the restroom real quick. Sorry.
Sorry.
Go for it.
Garbage.
Felix, why did your voice change?
Jack, come back.
Whenever it would approach the kind of dinner time, early evening, Revan would come join them.
Okay. Sure. Yeah, we can say that they spend a decent amount of time just kind of talking about goings on, about things that they've learned for the afternoon. You come down to join them for dinner. You do find a stale sandwich in front of Tizal.
Did Molly not bring it?
Stefan was under the assumption you were going to bring it.
He said Molly would bring it.
He said you or Mom.
Revan, there's a sandwich I forgot to give you. It might be a little crunchy, but it will suffice.
Do we have any money?
No. Besides what you may have from what your prior life.
Okay, so they just took my weapons when they sent me on the ship. I never really asked about that.
Yeah.
When I got okay.
Yeah, they
okay.
basically just like gave you a pat down and took what they could that way.
Okay. Then that being said, I order some fresh food and an ale as opposed to the stale sandwich with a small amount of money.
Okay.
Do they take any... They don't take any payment for this food and ale, right? Has council noticed any patterns in them, like, having... Like, because they don't just... They just feed the city?
As far as like this tavern goes? Or?
Yeah, like, how do they know when to say no? Like, do people just come in to get 3 meals a day?
Nobody has asked you for payment for anything in the tavern up to this point.
Oh.
Cool.
Well, then I'm not paying them.
Well, there was an implication earlier that our room and board were being covered as part
Right.
of the whole arrangement of us working out this debt and whatnot.
Right, but like I'm just waiting for regular citizens who live here. Can they just come in and say, "Hey, I'll have a meal and a drink"? Let's say, sure. Just wondering how that works economically.
Just because like they have more of a bartering mindset here. It's like, I'll do my own dishes, or I'll buy a load of fish or something tomorrow.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So it's more like acts of service like that
Right.
they will use for meals.
Okay. So there's definitely a limit of goodwill. Like, hey, you haven't given me anything, and I fed you for like 2 weeks.
I mean, you could certainly try and test their goodwill if you'd like.
No, council's just curious about their form of government. As with all things, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. And I assume we want to pause until Felix gets back. Talk about anything else.
I'm trying to see if this. There was a question I wanted to ask Wanda. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, yeah, we had put a pin in a conversation earlier.
Yeah. Don't have it in my notes, unfortunately.
I didn't write it down either.
There's a conversation. In character, we did?
Yeah, Wanda and Council had something they wanted to idly chat about. I'm trying to figure out what it was.
If anyone came into this session thinking, I want to hear Adam talk in a pirate voice for 4 pages in a Word document, your wish is about to come true.
Oh no.
Guys, my internet, gotta go.
Three and a half.
Going through a tunnel.
Sorry, I forgot something. Hang on.
In the bathroom?
Did you forget to go?
His phone?
I sat down and I don't remember doing anything. Uh-oh.
I've left a phone.
Oh,
in the
beans. In case you guys are wondering, that plate of food was very good.
It looked so good.
I will
So
have to be
what was it? Was it tacos?
Yeah, it was bean tacos. Pinto black bean tacos. The only thing non-vegan about it was the cheese on top. Everything else was veggies, corn chips.
Nice.
I'll have to make some dinner in about an hour.
Were they soft shell tacos?
They were hard shell tacos.
Ah,
Boo.
tis all explodes.
Boo.
Boo.
Only if he
Okay.
eats rice.
Yeah. Ah.
All right, Felix is back.
All right.
Yeah, you guys shoot the breeze for the evening. Captain Revan comes down.
Are you feeling well, Revan?
Aye. It'd be the strangest thing. I feel fine.
You said this has happened before.
Aye, it has. And it seems the fates may have joined us as traveling companions. Perhaps ye should know a bit more about me.
Such is your choice.
Well, let me tell ye a tale. A tale of where I come from. Of things mundane and things unimaginable. I've spent more of me years adrift at sea than I have safe and sound upon the land. I spent me early years upon a ship called the Republic. A hewn named Kreia was her captain, and he watched over me. He was the closest thing to a father I ever knew. Now, you may be asking yourself, how did old Captain Revan come to be upon the Republic and into the care of Kreia? Well, what little I know is me mother was a hewn at some forgotten port. I don't remember much of her, and her face is blank in me memory. Her relation to Kreia is unknown to me. He never liked to speak of it much. There's no use in speculation either. I've made me peace with it. And long ago, when I was but a wee lad, my mother was able to slip me into a crate at the docks, destined to be loaded onto the Republic. The crate, with me inside, was loaded onto the ship, and they set sail. By the time the crew discovered me, they were too far out to sea to turn back, and they had no choice but to sail on with me aboard. I was no stranger to work, so on our journey, I did what I could to pull me weight and lend a hand. The crew quickly took to me, and I to them. Even Captain Kreia enjoyed me company. After many a fortnight at sea, we made port again. The crew of the Republic could have turned me loose then, sent me off in a foreign land, and carried on about their business. Instead, they offered me a chance at a new life, a difficult life filled with work and risk, yet a life with a family. There wasn't much of a decision to be made, and it's at that point where my life truly began. Captain Kreia made a place for me on the floor of his cabin. Here I slept. My days were spent with the crew, toiling on deck and learning to sail. The evenings were something else, something magical. I loved the evenings. There was music and singing and tales. Oh, the tales the men would tell. Tales of adventure and treasure. Tales of danger and loss. Each one was exciting. I clung to every detail as I played them out in my mind. I especially loved the tales of the creatures from the depths. Creatures so huge, only their tentacles were ever seen. As I grew to be a young man, Kreia began to share more with me. He began to teach me the ways of the sea and how to be a true captain of a ship. His idea was to lead the crew by guiding them and embracing their strengths, and not through the old ways of cutting them down and forcing their hand at labor. Kreia would say a crew will work much harder when they feel they are part of something greater, that they're worth something, and that they matter. Kreia also taught me how to make extra coin on the sly. While we were in service of the capital as part of the naval fleet, there was ample opportunity for greater reward, outside the confines of the law, of course. All those years, I hid away me portion of our less than savory earnings. In his youth, before he was a captain, Reichert would eventually join our crew. He was a welcomed addition and became a friend of mine. One drunken night, Kreia mentioned something to me of a resting place where his money was hiding. I felt it strange for him to be telling me this. He said he'd had a vision and that things didn't feel right anymore. If he was to not spend his twilight years enjoying his wealth, then perhaps I could. A month later, we returned to port at the capital. The naval general and a large platoon of well-armed soldiers were waiting at the dock for us. All of them had their guns drawn, and they immediately boarded the Republic and gathered us on deck. The general read an accusation of Kreia's misleadings and attempts to undermine the capital. All of them true, of course. The general continued reading, said they had already found Kreia guilty, and then, bang. The general shot him, right there on deck. No warning, no goodbye. He drew his pistol and shot Kreia in the head. The general turned and left. His soldiers, guns drawn, commanded us to stay where we were. When the general had cleared, 2 soldiers approached Kreia's body. One carried a large block, lashed with rope. He tied the other end of the rope around Kreia's neck, and the 2 tossed him into the sea. That was the last time I ever saw Captain Kreia. We were ordered to grab our things and immediately leave the ship. We would not be returning to the Republic, ever again. In the following days, I gathered as many of the crew as I could. We chartered a ship, found and collected Kreia's hoard. Between our coin and Kreia's wealth, we were able to purchase a new ship, a ship of our own, the Leviathan. Oh, she's beautiful. We spared no expense. She's a traditional 3-masted ship with plenty of cargo room and cannons. She's fast and capable of extended deep-sea journeys. The Leviathan's beautiful and ornate, with tentacles carved along the hull, much like these. And at this point, Revan shows his cutlass with its tentacle hilt and his flintlock pistol with tentacles wrapped around the grip and running the length of the barrel. There's a slight crackle of blue energy between his hand and the weapons as Revan grasps them. The crew treats the Leviathan like a member of their family. Those who know and understand her envy the Leviathan. We took our experience making money on the side and applied it to a new lifestyle. The coin began to flow like so much rum from a barrel. We also took on much more risk. Our business was transportation. No questions, just moving cargo, as long as it wasn't living. No animals, and under no circumstances, people. We did whatever we could to guarantee passage of cargo from one place to another, and we were damn good at it. We spent our days at sea, stopping only for the day at port. When you spend this much time away from solid ground, you gain an appreciation of the sea, a fascination, you might say. We even began to talk in our own dialect of sorts. Not so long ago, on a particularly long journey, we came upon the worst storm I ever sailed in. In my whole life, I never saw the wind blow and the seas climb like this. Waves taller than any building, and the wind causing the ship to start cracking, making an awful racket. I remained on the deck with the crew in an attempt to save her, to keep her safe. In the chaos, we missed a rogue wave, taller than any I'd ever seen. It blindsided us, and the Leviathan pitched, nearly tipping her over. Everything not secured down was tossed to the port side, including Calvin, one of the crew, He slammed into me like a dozen sacks of grain, and we both found ourselves in the sea with this ungodly wave crashing down upon us. Followed by wave after wave driving me down. I tried to swim to the surface. It was in vain. I still went down. Further and further I sank, fathoms below the surface. Darkness blanketed the light. Cold so deep set in, I felt me bones freeze. I fought not to grasp for breath and fill me lungs with the sea. As I lost all sense of up and down, so too left the feeling of sinking. Calm began to set in. Warmth returned to me. I was no longer fighting the desire to grasp for air. A fitting end for me life, down to Krea's locker at the bottom of the sea. It was now I became aware of a strange glow behind me. I turned in the water and realized I was suspended, no longer sinking at all, yet not at the bottom. As me head come round, a massive round object came into me view. This, I saw, was the source of the shine. My eyes now began to focus, and this object became clear as crystal to me, not at all affected by the bend of the water. It was at this point I realized I was floating in front of an unbelievable eye. The entire Leviathan could have fit into it. It was too dark to make out the creature beyond it. There were glimpses of incredible tentacles, though, smoothly wavering into me view. I can't explain it. I wasn't afraid. I was in the depths of the ocean, warm, calm, totally at peace. The creature spoke to me, in me mind, and I to it. It told me time had not yet come, and it told me I'd do more above the waves. It told me to listen to its call, and it also said I would never fear the depths, no matter how many fathoms down, and to be aware of invigorated skills of combat and survival. I woke the next day in my cabin, dry and unharmed. I asked the crew what happened to Kelvin and how I returned to the ship. They told me Kelvin was lost. And they told me I never went over, only hit me head on the rail, knocking me out. They brought me to the cabin to ride out the storm. Since that storm, I no longer need to breathe when below the surface. And cold, it don't affect me as it does others. And me tattoos took on a bit of a glow, as do me weapons when I wield them. And me pistol? Well, you've seen me fire it. It needs no gunpowder to fire, nor lead to eject. This particular set of skills turned out to be quite useful in the months to come. That is, of course, until Lady Margaret accused me of murdering a polar-hewn jarl. They took me sword, me gun, ship, me crew, me entire life. Revan takes a long, slow drink. When we were attacked aboard the Nightingale, me gun and sword appeared in me hands, and when I did not wake from me injuries, I had a vision. A voice spoke to me. All I could see was a great eye. I recognized the voice, and it told me, this will help. When I awoke, that compass was in my pocket. The rest of me story, you lads know all too well. At this point, Revan stops and takes another drink.
Molly just kind of leans in and goes, wow.
The whole tavern's like leaning in.
Friday after next day.
That was well done.
Good.
No, go for it. I was just saying he did well. I wasn't saying Tizal was going to do anything.
No.
Oh,
That was
thank you.
good.
Mm-hmm.
Nice and detailed. Council is digesting what he just heard, so he's quiet for now.
Revan's like, so take off your damn mask and share with us your story, dude.
I shoot him in the face.
Felix is just puffing his cigar.
One time I saw something shiny in ocean, and I did not get it.
Can you
I
swim?
do know great pain.
Oh.
Can you even swim, Tizzle?
He floats. He's a bird.
It's
I
not a
can
duck.
splash.
Not all birds float.
Yeah, throw it
Very
down in the water. See what happens.
rocks.
A
I
chicken
can-
will drown.
I can dive. I have to come up though right away.
Myself and I presume the others are grateful for you sharing this information about yourself, Revan.
Aye.
It provides a lot of context around this compass and your weapons.
Aye, there seem to be many mysteries, and there's no point in keeping me past from you. I expect we'll be traveling together for a while now.
You mentioned you have vision.
Aye, similar to the
Right.
one earlier today.
Did he share that with us?
Oh, I didn't.
He
Oh, yeah.
hasn't shared the details of either vision.
Yep.
No.
Okay. So I'll say that differently. And today, when I went down, I had yet another vision. And he briefly shares. I mean, we went over it at the beginning, so
Right,
he
right.
briefly shares what the vision was to everybody.
Does he also say the voice told him when he died? The
What?
whole this will help thing.
Well, so he didn't read the whole transcript, but yeah, he said the voice had said this will help, and then he woke
None
up
of the
with
other
the
stuff?
compass
Okay.
in his pocket. No, no.
Okay. This is
He
good.
wasn't trying to be deceitful, but yeah, he didn't share beyond that.
Okay. Yep.
His vision today. The Dayaran. Could you
Aye.
could you describe in detail? We don't have to RP it. We can just say you describe exactly what you saw, and then Spencer, would Tizal recognize anything about the Dayaran in
I
which
see what you're
happened
doing.
in the vision?
Sure. Make me a knowledge or
Knowledge.
Well, I'm sorry, not knowledge. Intelligence or a
Or?
religion check.
Can I help him because Council has a hunch that it may be something he tied to religion?
Yeah,
Just-
if you'd like to.
Just based on the description and what he knows of the gods.
Do you want to roll separately, or do you want to just give him advantage?
We'll go by book rules. I'll just give him advantage.
I mean, book rules. You can roll separately.
Oh, can you? Okay.
Yeah, you can make 2 separate checks for the same thing.
Okay.
Are you
my
doing your own
religion-
check or giving me an advantage?
How's your intelligence?
Ah!
I'm doing my own roll then.
Yeah, okay. I got a 15 with no advantage.
Okay. I also got a 15.
Idiot.
You're probably able. I'm not positive what your suspicions are.
So Council thinks that each of those people was a representation
Right.
of the deities of each race.
Right.
Like-
Tizal wants to know if it was Alacanther.
Yeah.
Yes,
It is.
Tizal, you would know that is what Alacanther, in some stories of him, is reported to have looked like.
This day on in your vision. is of great significance to my people. That is our deity, Alakantar.
I have reason to believe that this is tied to not just your deity, Tizol, but the others as well.
Does Revan recognize someone as being a human deity? Would he know?
There was a hewn in the vision.
Right, does it seem to be like a common figure of like a deity or something that he is like fairly easily recognizable, or just kind of a nondescript person?
There's not a lot of like physical description that's given to the tales of the hewn deity.
Okay.
So you wouldn't be able to tell him if you were walking past him on the street or her on the street.
Were they all male in the vision?
No,
I don't remember.
There was 2 females.
2 females, okay.
The fact that it was one from each race with agendas that align with what I know of the deities, surface level knowledge, it does align with what Tizol is saying. You may have had a vision of the council of the gods of sorts. How this ties into your deep sea contact, I don't know.
It is a bit more than a contact, so perhaps the tie to these other deities could be more easily made.
I'm curious why this Alacantha had the compass that you now wield.
I do as well.
It is not the visions that haunt me, but what we do not see.
Do we know that all races, deities were in this vision?
There was a female elm, a male human, from what I perceive to be an animal-like creature that, with a small tree on him, I imagine that aligns with Wanda in some way.
Aye.
A larger than average male Dwarn and a female Nan, and an Iran. Are there any races we are missing?
Let me rephrase. Do we believe there is only one deity for each race?
Knowing what Revan knows of human religion, would there be more than one?
You can make me a religion check.
Could we all, maybe?
I'm sure.
Like, has Council ever heard of more than one deity?
Ooh. Yeah, you could probably make a religion check. Again.
19.
11.
11.
Bad. I think people have gods. I mean, that's cool.
That's neat if you're into that kind of thing, I guess.
I don't think Felix is gonna roll.
Okay. You, Tizal, you have only heard tales of Alacanther.
Sure.
He is the only deity with which the Iran are familiar.
That's fair.
No, I'd assume Wander is just only familiar with Tersink.
Yeah.
I'm curious what this challenge was. The Iran said you don't think he was accepting a challenge. It was his ego was inflated.
We are prideful.
It makes me wonder if the other gods, or the beings there, challenged him to something, and if this challenge involved him giving up this compass. And from what we know, this compass points to what the wielder desires. Which, Council kind of like looks at the ceiling as he uses out loud, because his brain kind of going into machine mode.
Revan puts the compass on the table while you're saying this.
What is the compass still pointing at him?
Revan, what do you most desire?
jeez.
Self-exploration.
Yeah.
It points
The
to
needle bursts through the bottom.
Points to the stale sandwich.
I mean, at
Do we
this...
know that the compass points at what the person desires the most?
The Grand
Like,
Magister
the Magister
explained
told
that.
Oh, he told us? Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how we got that knowledge.
Definitely at this point, what he would desire most would be his, either the ship or the crew. I'll say the ship, the Leviathan, his home.
The compass points to the east and slightly south of east. So just like if that's east, it's that.
Is that the direction from which we came?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
To get here, you sailed slightly northward.
Council's going to assume that's back to the hewn lands. Because that's the way we came from. All the questions I have, we cannot answer.
Well, we don't have the answers now, but perhaps we can get the answers, right?
I believe that is the case. My biggest question is, did this belong to the Iran god? If so, why was he challenged to give it up? And then what happened to him?
And how did it end up with Charlie?
Was
What did-
Charlie a previous contract with this entity that Revan is now working for? And when he perished,
I'm curious what this entity has to do with all of this.
I don't know a whole lot about him, so as of right now, I can't fill in that question. I can't answer that question.
your judge of character seems to be slightly above average, Captain Revan. Do you believe that this entity is benevolent?
So-
An insight check about your patron.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Your eyes bleed.
But I mean, I guess I'll look to the DM. I'm guessing he doesn't know, or does he have any kind of sense?
It's saved your life at least once.
Like nothing bad has happened,
Okay,
right?
so-
Like you haven't been.
Also, it's a she.
oh, she, yeah.
She
Oh,
she
okay.
has saved it.
Okay.
She
Right.
hasn't like
So-
murder these children. I'll give you a gun, kind of thing, you know.
Right. Not yet.
So, what I can tell you is she saved my life twice now, and I've got, those powers and abilities I spoke of. So,
You have no reason to suspect anything.
until she shows me otherwise, I'm not sure what to make of it all. I'm still trying to figure it out on my own.
I'm curious if this ties into our questions about what's going on in the world. How does this tie into where everyone disappeared to with the city?
What do you mean, what's going on in the world?
I have reason to believe that there is a change coming. I have noticed patterns that make me concerned. It is one of the primary reasons why I am on this journey.
Patterns.
Yeah, dangers increasing where they weren't before. Events, chaos, change in general. Aligning with suspicions of disappearing populations, like the city, for example. The fact that most records that I have encountered only go back so far. I have yet to meet the Dwarn, which is why I'm highly motivated to speak to them, but I believe something happened.
Felix raises an eyebrow. Sorry, I'm gonna say goodnight. Sorry.
All right.
Cool.
Yeah, we could probably take a break when Alex is done.
I'll finish my thought. I believe
Okay.
something happened a long time ago that changed the world. And I believe that something very similar is going to happen again. And this may tie into everything that you are seeing. But my evidence is slim.
On the next episode of Dragon Ball Z.
Barnabas froze. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's fine. We can take a break.
Yeah, let's take a
Eat.
potty break.
I'll go make some dinner.
Say goodbye.
Be right
to-
back.
Say goodnight to kids, not goodbye. Say goodbye to your children.
Say goodbye to your children.
Me?
I already said goodbye to my children.
Oh.
Wow.
Well played, sir.
BRB.
We're making dinner.
Yeah. Be right back.
Boop. Boop. Boop.
What are you booping?
I am booping all of the scenes. turn on the scenes again. Oops, not that one. Oh, get out of here, Crystal. What are you doing?
You know how you speak to your wife?
Just trying to listen to it.
Oh, just listen to the stream.
Well, I was going to listen to it on here.
Oh, don't do that, please. Only because that ruins how I have things set up. For
I know. I'm sorry.
Why would you do this? That last text message. So good.
Divine as a bones that ring, these are the string jazz will swing. That's on eBay.
Keep going.
Are you
Move, Chad.
Is he appropriating my culture?
Probably.
Devil on my slipper.
Now he definitely is. Slipper culture.
My slipper culture.
What are you doing? I can just see you staring over here.
I'm back.
Oh, are you?
Oh.
We hadn't noticed.
Whoops.
Hey,
Hi.
That face.
hello. Sorry, I thought I was on mute. I was hollering at the dogs.
Hey.
I thought you
You were just having a really cool hey.
Barnabas trying to pick us up over here.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey,
Every time we get more answers about this campaign, I'm like, I have so many questions.
Good.
And I know you love this because I love it when it happens to you.
Oh my gosh.
It feeds me. How did I
I-
get my blankets hot?
Only Crystal knows to what extent this pleases me. Just like after every session, I'm just like, yes.
Dance puppets.
Dance monkeys.
My dinner consists of a bottle of Soylent, a bowl of grapes, protein bar, a bag of fruit snacks, a bag of salt and vinegar chips, and some pasta.
You
Bachelor.
are a bachelor.
Those are
Bachelor
several
life.
components.
I had to rush to go around the kitchen like this and this and this.
What's
What can I grab?
ready
What can I
made?
grab? What can I grab?
I have leftovers. It's rice and sautéed carrots and Spam.
Ooh,
I miss
love
Spam, man.
I
Spam's
love
great.
Spam.
Really?
It's tasty.
Yeah, I used to
Spam gets a bad rap.
fry thin slices of Spam in the pan with a little bit of oil and put it on toast with a little bit of cheese. Oh, so good.
I don't think I've ever actually eaten Spam. Ever.
Delicious.
It's delicious. The less you know about it, the better, but it's still very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to know that it's pig and horse hoof ground into something gelatinous.
Well, it's spiced ham, so it's not horse.
That's
Well,
what
they
they
say
That's what
it's
Big Spam wants you to think.
It's like it's like gym mats, like the protein from gym mats, but it's very tasty.
Mhm.
Wait, the protein? Okay, never mind. Hang on, we're on a stream. I'm gonna nope. Anyways, D&D.
Yeah, we are back. I've turned everybody. I've turned the sources back on, so we're live out there.
You turned the
Ooh.
sorceress back on? I didn't know she was turned off.
I'm sorry,
Is this a hint?
Wanda. Spam and cheese grilled sandwich with soup is great. Oh,
Yeah, that's can of chest. That's good stuff.
that does sound pretty good.
Of course, now the moment where we have the most roleplay. I'm eating foods.
Me
You
too.
don't need to roleplay anymore. The roleplay is over. Adam did it all for the session.
Council, where did you get chips? I was not offered chips.
I have connections.
Don't you also have grapes? They keep saying that they don't have any berries to the Birdman.
True. I'm being lied to.
Are they technically berries? Are grapes berries?
No,
No.
They're a fruit.
they grow on a vine. Grapes grow, or berries grow on bushes.
Is that the defining factor of what's a berry and what's not?
It is now.
Oh, okay. I thought you were being serious. Like, I didn't know this. I'm learning things, but
No.
then it's
But I also think growing on a vine, the bushes it doesn't have anything to do with it, but I think growing on a vine is a different classification, isn't it? It doesn't matter.
I think doing it for the vine is a different.
I'm not going to pretend to know I know botany.
World Star. All right,
What's there?
we can start. On that note,
On that note,
that's perfectly in line with Tizal. Tizal just dabs and says World Star. Runs out of the tavern. To awkward white kid dab.
So with this knowledge, I'm curious as to what our next steps are. We have already agreed to go to New Oran, so I do not feel comfortable going back on that. However, if we want to find out more about the world, what has happened, and what may happen, I believe going to visit the Dwarn may be our best bet. However, that may conflict with your intentions, Felix.
There's a way around it. We can go there.
I was about to say there's a way around visiting the dwarves, or there's a way around your hesitancy to visiting the dwarves.
I believe there's a way I can. Some of the Dwarn don't really like me right now, and I could be able to disguise myself, and we'd be fine.
These Dwarn that...
Have you considered a tree costume? I've found them to be quite advantageous in the past.
What happened between you and the Dwarn?
It's just some. If you know the Dwarn, they are very hoity-toity about their beliefs and their rules. And some of the methods I employ don't quite agree with them. They don't really like taking an inanimate object and giving it some life.
Ah.
These Dwarn that do not look favorably upon you. Does your society have leaders? Positions of power? Are any of these Dwarn in such positions that may make our lives more difficult than needed? Putting it bluntly, did you upset a king?
No, I wouldn't say I upset a king. I'm not sure that. Wait, don't have kings, right?
You do have a king.
Okay. I'm not even sure he'd recognize me. I have, however, upset a couple groups.
Groups?
For different reasons. Well, one is the Dwarn authorities halted my research.
So the upholders of the law are specifically...
But I'm a persistent fellow, and I found other ways to continue my research. Until they also didn't agree with me. And to make a long story short, here I am now.
I believe our journey to discover records may be more difficult than I expected.
Council, you mentioned patterns of chaos and change leading you on a journey.
That is correct.
Why explore to gain answers?
The likelihood of finding answers in the exhausted resources of my home was slim. I need to look elsewhere.
Why do you seek these answers?
Because I want to protect my people. If the same thing that wiped out the people of Zunichbia, and potentially the rest of the world, some hundreds of years ago, happens again, I would like to prevent that from occurring to my people, and potentially the rest of the world.
I am on a run of, let's say, questionable politeness. What are your people, Council?
I am from a city far to the east.
Far.
How far to the east?
As far as you can possibly go, from my knowledge.
Do you worry for your livelihood, Council? Is that why you choose to not share more with us?
I want to protect my people. The less attention I draw to myself as a person, and more I can draw to the ideals that I leave in my wake, the better. The more people asking questions, the same questions that I have, the more likely we will be to find answers.
The most eastern point I know of is the nest. I assume your people, well, that's not true, actually. Looking at my map in my mind again, the keep is the most eastern point I am aware of.
Council adjusts his mask.
Do you trust us, Council?
I wouldn't be here if I didn't, Captain Revan.
And do you see yourself being a traveling companion of ours for some time?
As long as our ideals and goals align, yes. When you are no longer useful, I will leave.
So you're only with us to suit your own needs?
And that of the world, yes.
Then if you hope to gain something from us and continue traveling with us, couldn't it be in the best interest of you and our entire group here to know a bit more about you, to perhaps help in protecting you and your people?
I cannot think of any information that would aid us by sharing. That would be impractical.
Hey, well, share what you must, but the air of mystery makes it difficult to build upon the trust it would be helpful to establish amongst us.
I will take your thoughts into consideration.
You have not betrayed us so far. I have no reason not to trust. I
will-
understand wanting to protect your own.
As long as I believe that this group has the best chances of discovering the answers we need, I would be willing to do most, if not anything, to ensure your safety. As soon as that falters, I will leave, as I spoke before.
Do we get warnings when it starts to falter? Because sometimes I make mistakes. Not out of malice, but ignorance.
In order to maintain a sound mind and body, 'tis all, communication is key. So yes, I will inform you if I become suspicious. As one of my instructors told me, a calculated risk is no risk at all.
Rest. And go to Noren in the morning.
I believe that is our next step.
Aye.
Sounds like a plan to me.
Or Bell Tower. We can stop at Bell Tower before going to Noren.
We should observe the bell tower. Yes. And perhaps try the door again? Although, hearing what the Magister said about their attempts, I do not believe we will have much more success.
With a bit more planning, if we wanted to, I could certainly explore more of the tunnels below, so we could figure out if it's even worth, pushing against the door more, or I could just explore, and if there's nothing down there, then no need to knock the door down.
Aye, perhaps those who came before us did not have the abilities we possess.
I'm concerned for your safety, if the depths are as vast as you said, Wanda. Should you succumb to a trap or some unknown entity, no one will be able to save you.
The safest way to enter the tunnels will likely not be from the inside of the tower, but from the outside near the wall, I would imagine. But we should check.
I agree. Perhaps the wall after the bell tower would be the best way to go.
I'm terribly curious myself, so I'm very much in support of that.
I
Destiny
do
marches.
want to ring that bell, though. Not going to lie.
What's the worst that could happen? I could summon a world-destroying demon.
Hey, it's been fun, and it will make for a fascinating tale.
I don't even know what demons are. Sometimes a new vantage is all the advantage we need.
Is it nighttime?
Yes, it is late evening at this point.
Yeah. Probably close out the night and go to sleep.
Yeah.
All right.
Council,
Yep.
Yeah.
did anyone bring him food and drink?
Did you
While I
ask
was
for any?
sitting- No.
There is sandwich that Raven did not eat.
No, just if anything was brought to him, he'd like quietly fence it off to a nearby patron. Like, do you want this? Do you want this?
Reverend absolutely slides the plate a little closer to console of the old sandwich.
He
uneaten.
face plants on it and absorbs it via osmosis.
Shoves it in through the eye socket of his mask.
His eyeballs.
You guys eventually retire for the evening. And I'm assuming you wake up in the morning.
Council has
Unless-
a thing he wants to do at nighttime.
Okay.
Are we sharing a room?
Yes.
I am going to try and leave the room without waking anyone up.
Okay. Like in the middle of the night, like make sure everyone's asleep.
Yep, whenever I
Okay.
surface 3, 4 in the morning, whatever.
Okay.
When everyone's asleep, I'm gonna try and leave.
Okay. You want to make a stealth check, I guess?
Sure, I'll do it at disadvantage because heavy armor.
What's
Ha!
my passive perception?
Oh, that's an 11.
Clink, clink, clink.
Ooh, and that's a 17. So the lowest is
Oh.
11 plus my stealth, which is Dex. 15.
15? Yeah, probably beat out anybody's passive perception while they're sleeping.
Yeah. Kind of like boot scoot along the floor, you know?
Take off your boots and just shimmy in your socks.
Socks. Just imagine Council having like weird pink socks, little ponies on them, you know?
When you touch the doorknob, then does it just shock and light up the whole room?
Yep. Sauna.
Okay. What's it like outside? Outside the tavern.
Outside the tavern, it's a clear evening. It's a bit chilly, just like previously you had felt out in the uninhabited area of the city. You do notice something that you haven't really had the chance to see at this point yet is every, I don't know, a couple 100 feet or 100 yards or so, there are blue, there's lantern casings. Mm-hmm. There's like these little like clear glass canisters that have a blue light, the kind of like street lights that are emanating and lighting the streets.
Okay.
From what you can see, there is no one out.
Okay. I'm going to leave the tavern and go to, was it near the south wall where there were houses but no one inhabited them?
It is. I mean, all around there are houses. Like it's not like solid people all the way around. Right. It's like there's solid houses, but then you'll go 3, 4, 5, 10 houses in between people who live in them.
Okay, I want to find a nice space of empty houses and find one that's empty and go in.
Sure. Yeah, you walk. I mean, even just like a half a mile southward.
Okay.
And you're pretty much into no man's land.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's fine. There's no doors on this building or anything?
Nope, no doors, no windows. And again, once you're inside, no furnishings. There is an upstairs to this home.
Okay. And that's the only entrance is the stairway?
Mm-hmm.
I will go up the stairs.
Okay. When you go upstairs, you see again there's another small window on the upstairs of this building, but the only entrance is the stairwell.
Okay. I'm going to put my shield at the top of the stairs, kind of flat on line, so if anyone walks up, the chance of them like stepping on it, kind of making some noise.
Sure.
Just in case.
Okay.
Okay. In the corner, farthest away from the window, Council is going to kneel. He's going to pull out the 2 sheets of leather. He's going to take the metal chained case from his hip. He's going to place it on the ground very gingerly. He's going to undo all the chains with the separate locks and open the case and pull out the object.
Okay.
Oh boy. Okay. He's going to open the object slightly and slide one of the sheets of leather in.
Okay.
And he's going to open it all the way.
Okay.
And he's going to use the other sheet so he can only reveal one tiny little section of this object at a time.
Okay.
And then he's going to go to where he last left off and look at the first letter.
The first letter is an I.
An I. Okay. And then he's going to immediately cover it up. And he's going to open his own little notebook and take a note.
Okay.
But he's not going to write the letter. He's going to write the position it is in the alphabet.
Okay.
So he doesn't have like a one-for-one copy. It's kind of like a reference.
Yeah.
Okay. How does Council feel?
He feels fine.
Fine? Just looking at it, nothing happened, nothing around him changed?
You remember an uneasiness. Okay. I mean, just almost like you're a little gun shy.
Yeah, he's terrified. Like, you know, he shouldn't be, but he's having a hard time dealing with it.
Right, but yes, like uncovering one letter at a time does nothing.
Okay, he's gonna take a risk and try to do the whole word. Just a little bit until he finds a space.
He doesn't have to go far because the next letter is a space.
Oh man. Okay. So to shorten this, he's going to go until he feels anything, like dizziness or dread or something that feels unnatural. He's going to just kind of reveal a bit until he's like, nope, okay, I'm good.
Okay.
What are you going to send it to me?
I will type to you how far he gets.
Okay.
Before he stops.
Okay. And what does he feel when he stops? What happens?
There is immediate it's almost like a little PTSD happening. Like he starts to get to that point where he's like, if I go any further, like it's going to happen, and I can't.
Okay. Does it feel like it's coming from him, or does it feel like does he feel like he's being watched, or he's because of everything he's learned from this journey, he's being a lot more perceptive of, okay, what's happening to me?
Make a perception check, or maybe make an insight check on yourself.
An insight. Oh, natural 20.
This is purely from yourself.
What? Damn it.
Any feelings are coming from within.
And he's basically taking this as a challenge. Because he's worked so hard on himself. For him to be unable to do this because of his own reasons is kind of offending him. Okay, yeah, he doesn't want to risk it, not in the middle of town. So he's going to close it, lock the case, seal it up with the chains, put it back on his hip, and return to bed.
Okay. Make me another stealth check going back into bed.
Oh, no. Oh, it's a 9. Oh, it's disadvantage. Frick. Ah, 3 plus 5. 8. No, 4. 7.
That is probably low enough that you would wake up at least one person in the room.
Who's closest to the door, I guess?
I think the highest passive perception would be Tizal.
Okay. I guess Tizal sees Council kind of like closing the door.
Sees council or just hears someone coming into the room? Because those are different things.
Oh, yeah. That's up to Spencer, I guess.
You probably he closes the door well enough, but then like in the movement of like turning your body, the like slight grinding of like your heavier armor against one another is enough to Tizal just your eyes snap open. You heard like a that kind of plate scratching, or not plate, but like metal
Chain.
on metal scratching sound. Yeah.
I'm down in melee range.
Okay.
Don't fire stuff me, bro. Yeah, you see Council.
And how stealthy are you being about moving, Tizal?
Me?
Oh no.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Not at all.
0%.
Are you shouting at
Someone
the
is-
same time?
He thinks someone is sneaking into the room. He has no idea what it is. He's not. He's
This
100%
is
not
terrible.
Everybody else, you probably hear the loud like of bird feathers suddenly in the room.
Brevin draws his pistol and stands up.
What's going on?
It is just council.
Felix takes his cigar out of his mouth while he's sleeping.
Still lit.
Ew. Council.
It's like gum on your bedpost.
Council says, I was tending to some personal business. And he adjusts his pants.
Felix just lays back down.
The mysteries around you continue to grow.
I have to relieve myself just like anyone else.
Insight check then? Do I believe this?
Yeah.
Sure, you can make an insight check.
I would too, if I can, especially since we're so startled out of sleep.
Sure.
The way you all dispose of waste is disgusting. Wander rolls over and goes back to sleep.
Yes, you must do it from high altitudes.
Uh,
Oh, no.
count,
That'll knock someone out.
so it's got more splash.
Yeah.
Splash
AoE
damage.
damage.
Yeah. Council, you could probably make a deception or persuasion check, depending on.
Well, he's not lying. He did tend to personal business, and he does have to relieve himself like everyone else. So, would that be persuasion?
I mean,
I think
you're
you need to roll deception
deceiving
against
us,
Spencer.
right?
That's kind of lying.
Lie.
It's the implication, I think, is the lie.
Okay.
12. You got to beat a 12, whatever it is.
Do I get
the
advantage
goal
because I
is
have a
I
mask
got
on?
16.
What did you ask?
Do I get advantage because I have a mask on?
That does remove at least one barrier, or add a barrier of communication.
I mean, you don't have to. I'm just milking it.
I'll say no.
Ah. No benevolent DM. What is this? I'm gonna go for persuasion. If that's okay. You said that's an option?
I think based on the conversation afterwards, we're going to go with deception.
Okay.
Because it's the implication that you're trying to sell.
16 plus 2, 18. Anyone beat 18? Yeah.
Council had to go take a pisser.
He doesn't
Okay.
lie. He just
That's
obfuscates
fine.
the truth.
But please, if you're going to relieve yourself, please take off your armor so you don't fake us. I'm going back to sleep.
There are dozens of us. No, yeah.
You'd have been
He nods.
I
screwed.
never knew.
You'd have been screwed if Felix actually cared.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, he nods at
I rolled a 19 for funsies.
Ah! I apologize for
And I
disrupting
get-
your rest. And goes to bed.
So Felix knows, but he doesn't care.
Yeah. Well, it was a 22 after adding.
Oh,
Oh
dang.
no.
Wow.
Yeah.
He for sure knows.
That's
All
it.
right.
Thank you for humoring my little personal story.
All right. You guys wake up in the morning then. I'm assuming you wake up in the morning and not like sleep in or.
That's up to
or
you. I mean, do we?
Do we all wake in the morning?
You don't wake up in the morning.
Oh, no.
None of you do.
Alright. You did say
TPK,
that
I
I
said it.
Okay. Yeah.
Council just snaps all of our necks. They don't.
Oh, no.
He just walks in. Just
Yeah.
turns
You
your
know
head
too
around.
much.
And there's a significant chance Council's the big bad at this point.
Anyway, what happens?
You wake up in the morning. It's just every day here. The temperate climate here. It's very bland, for lack of a better word. I mean, it's fun. It's kind of Southern California. It's kind of like every day is just kind of it's sunny. It's hot. There is a slight breeze. So based on where you are on the planet, you are slightly north of the equator. So it is warm here. But it is with the mountains being directly to the west of you, they block a lot of like the direct heat flow. So this is actually more temperate than on the other side of the mountains where it is more desert. If you look at the map. So it is still warm. It is not sweltering. And there's a slight breeze.
Did I misunderstand? You said we are noticing that the climate is changing, or that
No.
we're aware of the climate around us, that where we are.
No, the climate is very much like the same every day.
Okay, got it.
It's just it's warm. There's a
Okay.
slight breeze.
I wake up a bit earlier than normal. I eat in private, like every day, and I go downstairs and wait for everyone else.
Okay. The rest of you join when you are ready.
I would bother Felix on the way down whenever I see him come out of the room. You are good with creating things, yes?
Oh, I'd say so.
Do you know how to make different type of liquids? Do you have such skills?
Like chemistry.
Yes, chemistry.
I'd need equipment. It depends on what you want to make.
I've seen lanterns with liquid that you can put fire on, and it sets liquid on fire. Can you learn to make such liquid?
You talking about alchemist fire?
I guess so. I don't know the words. He would hold up the wand and hold up his water skin. Say, this will make more of liquid it put inside of it. 1 mug of ale is now 30 gallon with this wand and this liquid. Liquid.
The council pauses. Council's like sitting at the table and he's like, hold on a second.
No, this would be upstairs, like in the hallway,
okay.
like off to the side. This wouldn't be the middle of the place.
Are you in the room or outside the room?
Outside the room.
Okay.
I don't know mechanically if I'm capable of doing that. I'm sure.
As far as the your class goes, I think that you have to.
Yeah, well, there's probably some tools, right, that you need, and you need to be.
You probably need like an alchemist kit or something like that in order to have some amount of proficiency, like an herbalism kit.
Because I have artisan's tool, but I don't know if that covers that.
Probably not.
Yeah, I don't think so.
If you cannot, perhaps we could find someone who could. I think it could be a very useful tool in our arsenal if
Just
we
looking for
need.
flammable liquid. I'm sure we can find some in the market.
Yes. We can try that as well. What's up?
Okay. Make your way downstairs. It's very routine at this point. You see Danny getting ready to go off to the Magister in the morning. You see Molly cleaning and preparing like breakfast or getting breakfast ready for anyone who comes downstairs. Taking care of any of the guests that come in. Is there anything in particular you'd like to do before you go off to your day? Otherwise, you're off. Where would you like to go?
I told Council and Felix that we potentially could ask before going to New Oren, ask Stefan and David about Jason. I don't know if that's a lead they want to chase up on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the council's also going to suggest, just for the sake of time, I'll do now.
Yeah.
Do we need everyone to go inspect this bell tower? Or should some of us go look for an entrance by the wall?
If we get it open, wouldn't we want to go in?
True.
Aye.
All right. Then bell tower, then searching the wall?
Yeah, let's get the bell tower business out of our systems, then we can leave it behind.
I agree. But first, Tizol's suggestion. Something about speaking with the owners of this place. Does anyone volunteer to speak with them? Or?
I don't need to speak with them, but if someone else would like to.
Okay, council walks up to the bar.
must speak to people.
Council walks up to the bar and sees the same long-haired, kind of scraggly facial hair gentleman
Good morning,
standing
sir.
by. He kind of looks up and sees your face and immediately is just like, oh, never gets easier.
I apologize if my aesthetic disturbs you.
It's just a little creepy, that's all. I'm sorry, that's not appropriate.
I am not.
What can I do for you?
I presume you are the one known as Stefan?
Oh, yeah, that's me.
We have plans to visit New Orleans soon on behalf of the Magister, and we're curious if you
Really?
had any insights into that populace.
Oh. Yeah. What do you want to know?
Specifically about this Jason, the proposed leader.
What can I say about Jason? He seemed like an average guy. Right up until he didn't.
What changed?
He got powers. Overnight, just seemed that he suddenly could do things with fire that he wasn't able to before.
I appreciate your insight. Did he use these powers for anything obviously destructive?
Didn't seem he was being overly destructive with it. I wouldn't even say overly, didn't seem he was being destructive with it. Certainly rubbed the High Magister the wrong way, though.
In his change of manner, or in the mere fact that he had powers?
Just in the fact that he suddenly had this power that he didn't have the rest of his life.
If I may ask another question.
Hmm.
Did he ever talk about where these powers came from? Perhaps visions? Voices?
Yeah, that's how he gained kind of a small following around him. The rest of them went up to New Orleans with him. And he said that he'd gotten it from some source or other. I didn't pay too much attention, honestly. I'm not into all that magic-y stuff.
Understandable. That is probably for the best.
Can't start a new tavern in every town I go to.
That is true. I won't press you further. The answers you have given me have given us much more than we had before. I appreciate your time.
Oh, well, you said your name was...
I am Counsel. If there's anything I can do to make your life easier while I'm staying, please let me know.
Will do. Thanks, Council.
I appreciate it.
Goes
There you
back
go.
to working.
Return to the table and relay my information to the group.
All right.
I'm curious if these powers gained are in a similar fashion to where Revan got his.
Couldn't say, but his seemed to be, as you said, powers of fire.
Correct. I suppose we'll find out if he's stable or not.
Aye.
Let us go pay him a visit
Okay.
After the bell.
after the bell, of course.
To the temple!
You leave the Wolf and Hound, make your way to the center of town, where the market is. There are already a number of shops that you can see are open. People have things lined up ready to trade, to sell, to barter. There are a number of people conversing in the square. the temple is standing where it ever has been.
Okay. Is there anyone inside?
Yes. When you go inside the temple, you can see first that it is from the outside identical to the temple that you witnessed in the other district. From once you open the doors, however, you see that this temple has been, as Captain Revan is aware, turned into almost an infirmary of sorts, where there are a number of sick, there are a number of wounded, people that are being taken care of and given medical attention and aid here. So lots
And
of
risen from the dead.
Yeah, just a couple.
I'm going to go look at the Dwarven statues.
Okay.
I want to go look at the bow.
Okay.
So this is the door kind of in the same spot as it was before?
Identical, yes.
Okay. I'm going to try to pick the lock on this door.
There we go. Okay. Go ahead. Make me a sleight of hand check. And Wander, what are you doing during this?
I'm also curious about the door situation.
Okay.
All right, I got a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You, sorry, do you have thieves' tools or something that you're doing this with, or?
Yeah.
Yep,
curious about
Artificer starts with thieves' tools, weirdly enough.
So you,
Well, my background gives me them too, so somehow I have them.
you have 2 sets just in case.
And I looked up, like, I can make whatever artisan's tools I need at the beginning of the day. So if I wanted to make an alchemy set, I can make one.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
That's
okay.
cool.
From what? You just poop it out?
Yep. The feature's called the right tool for the job, and if I have thieves' tools or artisan's tools in hand, I can magically create one set of artisan's tools in an unoccupied space.
Wow.
So with my artisan's tool, I can make artisan's tools.
I just Grinch smiled. I don't know if you guys caught that on stream, but when Jack said he could make alchemist tools, I was like,
Now, Felix isn't proficient in them, so
it's okay.
Sure. Sorry, with your dirty 20.
But anyway,
yeah, back to what actually matters, not your guys' little side project, chemistry set. You go to pick the lock, and you feel like you're doing a really good job, but you're just not able to make it stick.
okay, how thick are these walls?
How thick are the walls? They are
Yep.
considerably thicker than the walls of the buildings outside of or around the town. These are closer. If you were to look at like some of the other rooms in the temple and kind of gauge it off of those, they're probably about 2 feet thick.
God, it's like
Is it level? Is it level 4 where the monk gets Orb of Knock?
Yes. You, counsel, while Felix is looking at things. What are you looking for at the Dorn statues?
Does it look like they were carved by the same people who did the Eln statues?
Make me an investigation check.
Have proficiency in investigation? I do not. Okay. +2. 10.
10. They're very different from the Eln statues.
Okay.
The Eln statue you could see was carved with a lot of care and was like meticulously crafted. The Dwarn one is not. Much more rudimentary.
Okay.
Hard to tell, though, if it was made by the same person, not made by the same person, or people.
Well, the Dawn one looks a little more practical, rather than...
Just not, I think, not as much attention to detail.
Okay. Interesting.
Because the Dorn are terrible craftsmen,
Okay.
right?
Exactly. 100%.
Give
Dawn
it
are
a
garbage.
chin stroke and go back to the door.
I got it. I know what to do. Okay.
Go, Felix.
We'll see if it works. So Felix is going to take about 10 minutes and like kind of, let's see. Is there an exterior wall? Like, is there
There are many
on the
exterior
room?
walls.
Yeah, I know. On the room, does the room have an exterior wall?
Does the stairwell?
Oh, is it just a stairwell, or is it? I thought it was like a room and then a stairwell.
It is.
Am I
It opens up
shocking?
directly into a stairwell going
The
down.
building, I think the building is the other side of the stairwell wall.
Yeah. So if you look at this, like front center, you can't see my mouse, can you? The
No.
front left built or room here, that is the stairwell. So it has external walls that open up into the stairwell.
Okay. Basically, as a racial, I have stone shape,
Mm-hmm.
and that works on walls that are less than 5 feet thick.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd like to make a door, a
Oh,
stone
man.
door that goes in here.
Oh,
Okay.
what?
Huh?
And so Felix is going to try to, like, if you went on, like, the outside next to the door's entering in, and, like, did it there.
So like the right in next to the entrance, like to the left of the entrance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or before he does this. All right, one more thing.
Sure.
I'm gonna ask, all right. Wander. Could you do your spider thing and go in there for a second? And I kind of tell Wander that I need you to find where I can make a 5 by 5 foot opening inside through the stone wall.
Roger that. I can't guarantee my when I'm very small, sometimes large measurements aren't exactly accurate, but I'll do my best. Spiders have a hard time judging feet in my experience, but I'll get close.
It's all those eyes. Yuck.
Do we
It
hear
is.
this? Does Felix say this out loud?
No. So Felix and Wander are more towards the entrance. You're inside the temple, looking at the Dwarn.
I went back to the door, but if I'm not there yet, that's fine.
Well, this is happening while you were doing that.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, would I even remember just from the last time I was in there where it would fit best? I mean, according to the map, it looks kind of obvious, but that's because I have the map, so.
So, from what you remember, basically, as soon as you go in, it immediately starts sloping downward, or like the stairs start going downwards. So you're not sure exactly, like, if you were to go to like the far outside, you're pretty sure if you were to go 5 feet in, it would still be solid stone, and the stairs would be below you at that point.
Yeah.
If you were to go, however, like right here next to the door, you might end up on the other side of the door by opening up a 5-foot hole.
Yeah, based on what I recall from last time, It would almost be, I want to say, the room next to us, basically right next to the door, might be the easiest way to go in. If that makes sense.
We'll try it. So yeah, we go into. So you said like the room next to this stairwell, on like the far left corner of that room, walking in.
Okay.
The bottom right on the map.
Okay.
Is there anything going on in this room?
No, so this room is mostly left empty. You see that they have the people who are taking care of people. They have kind of turned these other rooms in the temple into like storage rooms mostly. The bigger rooms they have some people in, especially like the larger ones.
Yeah, okay.
Those have more like kind of grim patients, like people that are really not doing so well that they want to like keep away from others in them. These smaller rooms up at the front are mostly just like storage closets at this point.
Perfect. All right. So I can ritual cast this. So it's like 10 minutes, right? Like,
yep.
So I guess Felix is kind of like, he's got a piece of chalk and he's just kind of like drawing out a little 5x5 door.
Okay.
Wander kind of sees what's happening and says, so you're going to, by some magical means, make a hole in the wall?
That's the plan.
Quick question. If this door has been locked, not to keep us out, but to perhaps keep other things in on occasion, will this door be able to close and provide the same capabilities?
It'll be a door. You keep it shut as well as any other door.
Will it stay shut as well as the other door?
This door will be made out of stone.
All right.
All right.
There's a bit of risk here, but
story checks out.
Sounds good to me. Sounds good to the DM.
Yeah,
I think
so
level 4 is a good level to open up a door to the center of the earth.
Oh boy.
Fine.
Yeah, stone shape. Yeah, it's like a. Let's see. Let's read the exact spell.
Hey, if I need to go,
The surface is so slow. Okay. A section of stone no more than 5 feet in any dimension and form it into any shape that suits your purpose. For example, you could shape a large rock into a blah, 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 or make a small passage through a wall. As long as the wall is less than 5 feet thick, you could also shape a stone door or its frame to seal the door shut. Oh, okay. The object you create can have up to 2 hinges and a latch. The finer mechanical detail isn't possible. So yeah, it's gonna have 2 hinges and a latch. It's gonna be a stone door.
It's gonna be a 5 foot thick door. That's amazing.
I mean, the wall's 2 feet thick.
Yeah, this wall that he's going through is 2 feet thick.
Okay.
So it'll be a
it's just
2 foot thick stone.
open out. And yeah, he casts the spell. Does it work?
Make me an Arcana check.
Oh my gosh.
No.
You like that one time that
Oh my goodness, that's good. What do I add to this?
not like a locked magical chest, is it?
The temple explodes. Everyone dies.
Ooh, I'm proficient in Arcana too. Okay.
You better be. That's your job.
I'm proficient in the magic. That's 24.
24.
Holy crap.
All right.
You start chalking the outline of the door. You start drawing out like where the hinges are going to be, where the latch is going to be. About halfway through this ritual, you could just feel that it's not taking. That what you're trying to create here, it's not sticking to the wall. It's not penetrating the stone in the way that it normally does.
Son of a gun.
That being said, you did not burn your shape stone because you didn't make it all the way through the ritual.
Oh, cool.
Is the door 100% solid? Is there any kind of slit in it?
There is just
there's a keyhole?
The keyhole. Yep.
If we were all druids, this wouldn't be a problem.
So
I'll shoot myself and reroll.
I hadn't thought of this before, but I can get myself on the other side of the door.
I beg pardon?
I believe I can get myself to the other side of the door.
I presume by magic.
Aye.
So, are you proposing that just the two of us go on an exploration?
Does Misty
Sure.
Step work through a keyhole?
You need line of sight.
You line of
Yep.
sight.
30 feet to where I can see.
Because I did pick up the feat that gives me Misty Step. Because there's one in Tasha's Cauldron of Everything.
What?
I needed one intelligence. It's Fey touched.
And it gives you Misty Step?
Yep. Well, you can use it once a long rest.
Still, that's
Awesome.
That's pretty solid.
Fey touch.
Yeah.
Increase your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma by 1. You learn Misty Step and 1 first level spell of your choice, which I picked Hunter's Mark.
Oh.
Wow.
From the divination or enchantment school. Yeah.
Oh man, I need to pick up
Once a
Hunter's
day
Mark.
though, so it's
Oh, yeah. It's
Oh,
a
Hunter's
little
Mark is only once per
limited.
day?
well the feat is you can only cast those 2 spells once each per long rest.
So you have to long rest inside the room before you can get back out.
Mm-hmm.
No one thought of that.
Curse you, Spencer, for putting one locked door in front of us.
Man, there is nothing more tempting than a locked door.
Oh
I
yeah.
hate it.
I have a suggestion. There may
Is
be
Tizal
another
at the
way.
bell still?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Tizal went up to the bell.
There may be another way in from the wall the Magister mentioned. If that doesn't
Yeah.
work,
I think
may
we
have
should
to
try
go
that
with something.
first.
Yeah.
I wonder what Tizal's up to.
Tizal, you're upstairs. You climb up the stairs, or do you fly up to the tower?
Fly up, because I'm not a stupid
You're not a mongrel. You don't
mortal.
have to take the stairs.
Yeah,
You're not a stupid mortal.
yeah. I'm Alacanther.
Spoiler.
Yes,
fly
I
to the
got
top.
the bell.
Is that why you talk that way?
Yes.
You're looking at the bell. Is there anything in particular like you're looking for?
Yeah, I want to see if I can see if there's a similar, like engraving or mark on the bell that we saw on the other one, the other temple,
Make me a perception check.
with advantage because I know where I'm looking. Right?
No, because bells are circular, so you don't know if it's hung in the same direction or.
No, that's just valid science. 18.
Valid sign. 18 perception?
Yeah. Yep.
You can see there is a mark on this bell. It does not look like the mark that you saw previously.
And that is that because I can't read?
Not just because you can't read.
Okay, so it does look different.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, you don't know what it is because you can't read, but it's a different symbol.
Okay. I would fly back down to reiterate that to the rest of the group unless something else stands out up here as being like needing to be investigated. But he was going to look for that marking only.
If you want to make another perception check just to see if there's anything out of sorts up here.
Sure. 21.
21? No. You can see again from the top of this bell tower. You can see in all directions. You can see almost clear to the other temple over in the other district.
Oh. So then it's safe to assume that directionally, and I guess spatially, he'd be able to figure out where another tower would be in another direction if he can see the tower from where he is now.
Might be able to reason that.
Okay. All right. I would fly back down to the group and tell them I saw a different marking and that they can see the other tower, and the same about like positionally. You could probably deduce where another tower would be in relation to this temple.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to take a peek at what the mark is.
Okay. You go and join Tizal upstairs, or you go upstairs. Tizal doesn't necessarily go with you. Or do you go with him, Tizal?
I'd go with to like point out exactly where it is in case he needs to make a perception check of some type.
Sure. What languages do you know, Revan?
I know common and non.
You do not recognize this marking, but you do see a marking.
So is it like complex, or is it simple enough where I could, remember it or jot it down, kind of a thing?
You could easily jot it down.
Is it easy enough to tell me what it would be like so I can add it to my notes?
It kind of looks like a flattened triangle.
Okay.
It's like a D4 someone stepped on.
Yeah. If that person was somehow stronger than a D4, which is impossible. Absolutely impossible.
Deity.
D4 will kill you.
Remember when I stepped on one of my metal D4s and you all laughed at me?
Yeah, that was great.
No, but that sounds like something I'd laugh at you about.
As my mother said when I was growing up, no blood, no sympathy.
I don't remember. Could you show us again?
One more time for the highlight reel.
Oh, we weren't recording. Sorry, try again.
Home Alone would have been such a more sinister movie if he played D&D.
Oh my goodness, yes.
Okay.
It's actually, yeah.
Okay. I come back down and roughly share what I saw on there.
Does that sound familiar to anyone in the group?
Yes. To Felix, you recognize this. This is the Dwarnic rune for the letter D.
Okay. So that is the Dwarnic rune for the letter D.
Oh.
Which is curious that the other bell also had a D, but it was, I'm assuming, the Elvish style of it.
Was it in the Elvish style? It was.
Sorry. Elvish.
Elnish.
How dare you mess up my world? No! I'm not Tolkien. Clearly. No, it was like common. It was the hewn version of the letter.
Oh, okay.
Weird.
I thought they were like elm statues. Were they hewn statues?
No,
They were elm.
They were elm.
Oh, okay.
I wonder why.
And on the back of me, compass as well.
Perhaps this crafter only knew 2 languages? Dwarven and hewn?
Or perhaps your theory of the religions could be at play here. Maybe
Spencer,
it is. Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go for it.
No.
I was gonna say, Spencer, is that the rod that we have, the wand of fire? Does that have any markings on it?
Make a perception check.
Okay,
Isn't that just a stick with a gem duct taped to it?
16.
It is just a stick with a gem duct tape to it. Yeah. You don't see any markings on this.
Making sure.
Each day we are here, I find myself with more questions.
I'd be curious to see, presumably, the other bells from this city.
I wonder which one's the closest.
Do we know how many bells there are?
You do not.
No.
Well, the rest of the city is underwater, so, right?
Right. Yeah. Council thinks there's one bell per race because it's probably.
I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if this ties into the vision I had with one bell for each of the races.
I believe that is highly likely. It may also tie into where everyone disappeared to.
How are you so certain that everyone disappeared?
This city is mostly intact, and its entire population is gone. And there are no records of this place, from what I have found.
That's not a bad guess.
Yes. Where is our next move?
The wall? To find a way into this temple?
Do we want to go inside of the under? Do we want to go under the city, or do we want to go to New Orleans?
I believe under the city is the most interesting at the moment.
That was technically our next stop, but I could go either way. Although I feel like we should get underneath that tunnel before someone does something foolish around that door. It feels like we're getting closer and closer to that point.
Aye.
So you want me to ring the bell? Is that what I heard?
Not in the city. 'Tis all.
Oh,
If we ring the bell, we ring the first one we saw.
Why do you feel that way?
No, we don't know what's gonna happen or what's gonna be drawn to the bell. Best to be around nobody else.
Agreed.
Sure.
okay. Let us go to the wall.
Go to the wall. If we don't find a way in, we'll head to New Orleans.
Agreed.
Okay.
Head to the wall.
You guys spend an hour walking out to the wall.
I'd like to ask a question while we're walking, if I may.
Please.
To Wander, as we're walking along.
Or not to wander. That is the question. Whether it is nobler in the mind.
Wander, do you need to take an air like so many of the land-living creatures need to?
Oh, you mean the huffing and puffing that you all do?
Aye.
No.
So if you can go under the surface of the waves for some time, then.
I'm gonna double check this with Spencer, but that's my understanding is that.
It would still probably be based on your constitution modifier, just like anybody else.
Oh, okay.
Oh, he'd be holding his breath. So.
Yes and no.
Does he absorb CO2?
You
And there's
can-
no CO2 underwater, I guess?
Yes, because he is still a plant, so he still has to breathe in a way.
You can overwater a plant.
Terrestrial plants,
Okay.
I think,
Yeah, you'd still drown.
can't be underwater, but there are aquatic plants. But as far as I know, Wander is not an aquatic plant.
Right.
Okay, so it'd be a
Whoa.
limited.
Right.
Now, Wander, you can turn into a spider, can't you? And other sorts of critters.
Oh yes, quite easily.
Couldn't
There
you
was-
just turn into a fish?
Yeah, that's not a problem.
And
So-
you can breathe underwater, can't you, Riven?
I was thinking if, when the time comes, if we need to go beneath the surface of the waves, we could.
That would be helpful.
Yeah, certainly. Be happy to.
I gotta step away for 1 second. I'll be right back.
Okay.
All right.
Apparently, we have a water emergency.
Oh,
Oh, that's no good.
All right.
The emergency
luck
is
with
that
that.
there's only tap water. They're out of distilled water.
no. Wait, is
Good
that
thing Adam
Kaya?
can breathe underwater.
Yeah,
I
that
was
was
gonna
his
say-
daughter.
Hmm
Oh my god, she's so big.
Yeah, his kids grew
Holy
up.
I haven't seen Kaya since I was there for our last SCP retrospective, so it was like.
I
2 or 3
think
years ago.
she's taller than Michelle now, by the looks of it.
She's probably taller than me.
Rip.
Knowing
Awkward.
Adam, I mean, it's gonna have giant known children.
True.
Yeah, my wife is the shortest one in our family now.
How tall is your wife?
She's 5'8", I think.
Oh, she's taller than me.
That's still a decent size.
Mm.
Thanks, Spencer.
5'6" is a decent size too.
It's fine.
I think average woman's height is 5'7", right?
Uh,
I don't know. I'm not sexist on this. I don't know.
I am 5'7". I don't
Yeah,
consider
Jackson-
myself very tall.
Jackson
Can't
is taller
say-
than me.
You can't say I am after someone says I'm not a sexist. All right, Alex goes, I am not a sexist. And he went, I am 5'7". Whoa.
Yeah, my mother's 5 foot exactly, and my father's 6 foot, and I'm 5'6". Genetics.
That's good math. Yeah.
Uh,
I know that my height is average because we were talking at some science class. They said the average height, and I was like, "That's how tall I am." I'm 5'10" and a half. So that's
5'10". Yeah.
perfectly average. I mean, we could keep playing without Adam.
I assume we're gonna search the wall for some sort of door.
Mm-hmm.
So when you walk out to the wall, point 3 out here, that is where the academy is. That's where the High Magister is.
Mm-hmm.
And the doors to the outer section are right there. Similarly to the other door to the south, there are 2 guards posted there. Who, when you get there, they explain to them what you're doing, where you're going, why you're doing it, and they put their hands on the sigils. The door opens, and for the first time, you see outside of this main populated part of the city. What you can see on the outside of that is an expanse of like ruined desert. It is desert, but there's piles of debris, there is rubble, there are just like piles of broken equipment. You can see that there is very much like what you have, Council, as in terms of your shield, in terms of your crossbow, things like that, but they're all broken and old and decrepit. And it is just it goes on for at least like a mile and a half out to the actual circular wall. Through this wall, you do not notice any other doors or anything like that.
I presume we'd want to search the length of this wall for however many hours to see if there's an entrance. Oh, wait, what did the Magister say? That there was something out on the outside, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Did he tell us approximately where it is?
He didn't. That at least I can remember.
No. He just said it was outside the wall.
Is everything okay, Adam?
Yeah, so the bathtub in the kids' bathroom, the faucet is turned all the way on. Kaya was about to take a bath, and it won't shut back off. You can't move the handle back over. It's like jammed. So I actually just turned the water off. The kids quick filled up a bottle of water each. And so when D&D's done, I just need to unscrew the handle, and then I can just use a wrench to turn off the water at there, and then I'll flip the water back on for the house. It'll take 2 minutes, but Michelle was like, just go finish D&D. You can do it right after. So, and then I don't know, it'll be a different project to figure out why that's jammed, and hopefully it just needs to be replaced, or just the handle needs to be replaced or something.
Right.
I'm sure.
Well, that's good. I'm glad it's not exploding.
Yeah. Worst case scenario, it might be a $20 part or something.
Right.
Get it tomorrow.
Okay.
So I was explaining to everyone else, when you get to this kind of the curved portion of the wall, and the like where the flat, so the semicircle portion, that is all what appears to be like ruined desert. So it is sand and debris and rubble, and there are piles and piles of old and like decrepit, broken, worn out weaponry. Very much like what Council has, or what he received from the guard captain.
Is this stuff, is it in piles, or is it just scattered everywhere?
From what you can see, it's mostly scattered everywhere. There are some piles of it.
Okay.
The stuff that is in piles looks more like it's freshly disturbed. Like somebody was like going through, kind of shook off what they could find underneath the sand and like threw it in a pile.
Right.
Like, oh, nope, that's not what I'm looking for. Throw it in a pile. Go over here, grab this thing. Nope, put it on the pile.
Are there any bones?
You can make me a perception check.
Okay. Because if this looks like some sort of battlefield, or where a standing army was. And
Yeah, like how many of these weapons are there?
Judging from what you can see from your vantage point here at the flat wall, it as far as you can see, there is, I mean, it's sand. There's a layer of sand, but you can see bits and pieces of this armor and weaponry sticking up.
So hundreds, if not thousands.
Yes.
Yeah, for as far as we
not
can see.
Probably not the normal situation.
Roll a 13 plus 4, 17.
You looking for bones?
Yeah.
You don't see any bones, at least as far as like living creatures that you're familiar with. There are like weapon racks that you can see, like, so there's wood, like,
right.
So maybe some bones to wander, but nothing, no bones that you're familiar with.
Yeah, Council's gonna think out loud. He's wondering if some battle happened here, and these are the deceased, and if so, where did the bodies go?
We could see I see some bits of armor strewn about. We could go. That would probably tell us any signs of battle.
There's some spare wood lying around that isn't hurting anyone. If you needed some wood, Council, now would be a good time to harvest some.
I managed to find what I needed. I appreciate you thinking of me then.
Could Tizal, so straight west, the curved wall, is that, there's like no doors or anything in that wall, right?
You have not walked out there yet.
Okay, Tizal's gonna head that way because he wants to see if there's any sign of like anyone trying to have scaled it, based on the understanding that a battle may have happened here.
Sure.
Like ladders and siege towers and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's, I mean, it's a mile away, a mile and a half. It's longer than a mile. We'll say a mile and a half away. So it takes you a while to walk out there, but by the time you get out there, you can see. I mean, there is a door there. similar to the doors on the inside here that have like the kind of the sigils on each side that can be pressed to open. If you wanted to make me a perception check to see if there's any like signs of people scaling it or anything, you can.
Ooh, man, my perception rolls tonight. 23.
Dang.
Ooh.
No, there's no sign of forced entry. The walls of this, from what you have seen, both inside and on the outside ring here, they are pristine.
Are there any sets of armor? Like I can piece together like a chest piece or a helmet and a shield?
If you were to look long enough, you could probably find enough. Like, are you trying to like make a functional piece of armor that like you could use, or just to like
trying to get an image of what happened to a soldier or multiple soldiers? Like, are there like axe bites or like holes, or dents, or something?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you can see is all of the armor, other than being old and just like falling apart, like especially like the leather seams, right, that hold it together, or any pieces of cloth or fabric, whatever that are involved. It's falling apart at those places, but the metal bits are also pristine. They are untouched, unscathed. And you find them almost like in groupings. So you'll find, all right, here's where all of the breastplates are. Here's where all of the helms are. Here's where the boots, the greaves are.
Oh, okay.
Are you
they
kind of
weather-
wandering off while you're doing this, Council?
No, I'm trying to stay within eyesight of the group.
But you're out of earshot, maybe?
I don't think so. I mean,
Okay.
if he doesn't have to travel far, he won't.
Okay.
I'll put it that way.
I follow you over. Sorry, Adam. I'll finish this up.
No,
real quick. I follow you over, and are you doing this thinking out loud, or are you doing this thinking in your head?
If someone is nearby and they look curious, he's going to muse out loud. Yeah.
Yeah, I follow you and catch your out loud musing, and then so it sounds like you're trying to figure out exactly what happened here.
Imagine coming upon an old forest, and all you found were roots, with no sign of trees.
Oh.
It is a similar feeling. There are remnants of people, but no people.
Wander lowers his voice a little bit so that only Council can hear, and says, I don't like to be too flashy, but perhaps this will help. And so Wander takes out his scrimshaw and holds it in his hand so that Council can see.
Okay.
A scrimshaw? I feel like my education is lacking. What is that?
It's a carving made out of whalebone.
Okay. Council looks at it. What is it? What is it?
If you give it just a moment, it will show a glimpse of what's happened here at some point in the past. I can't give it very much direction, so it's not always terribly helpful, but it's a glimpse nonetheless.
Are you sure? Is there limited use?
As you're asking this question, the images on the scrimshaw, the carvings on the scrimshaw, begin to morph and shape into a very crude picture. The picture you see is of a bearded being next to an anvil with a hammer.
We should return to the group. Also, this artifact is supremely useful. I'm curious where you got it.
Well, I'm very curious about your view of history, so to speak. Amongst my people, we don't write anything down. And I became curious and started to ask people about what had happened before. And I frequently got vague answers, and none of it really made any sense. And as I've explored the world, I've discovered that some people write things down about what has happened in the past. But I found it very interesting that you're curious about what has happened far, far in the past, and that, in fact, there are people who have written things down about that, which is terribly curious to me.
Well, your people are similar to mine in an amusing way. They also do not write down much. Most of our history is passed down orally. So anything concrete does not exist, unfortunately. Anything that does not date back more than 1, 2, maybe 300 years. I feel like we have more in common than I initially thought, Wanda.
Apparently, we should swap oral histories when we have an opportunity.
That would be educational. I return to the group.
Tizal would have probably returned to the group by now as well with his findings.
Yeah, Giselle flies back and reports his findings.
Can I guess I didn't really define where I was, but from wherever I am, can I see these piles of armor?
Yes. So this path that you can see running right to left or left to right, however you want to look at it, through this area, it's not paved like within the walls of the city. It is more just like you can tell that there's been heavy foot traffic through here. But other than that, any side you look off to, you can see piles of armor and these kind of mounds of sand over other pieces of armor and weaponry.
So you said the armor looks pristine, but does any of it look weathered? Like with sand everywhere, and is there signs like any little parts of it buried under the sand? Yeah, rust, any like weathering done to it?
Oh yes, absolutely there is.
Okay.
Yeah,
but it just doesn't look battle damaged.
Right, yeah. There's no like scratches, there's no gouges, there's no like punctures, nothing like that. But it is all falling apart.
Okay. Is there a pile of helmets? I assume.
Yeah, you can find helmets.
So if I walk up to the pile of helmets, do there seem to be any face masks among them?
Face masks.
Masks, facial coverings.
Like a certain party member of ours?
Yeah.
No, you probably don't see nothing like that. Any helmets? You can find various styles of helmets. All of them being more like buckets with like maybe a nose guard or something like that. Nothing that like
more traditional
fully covers the face, right?
Okay. And then so just as far as observing, does the armor seem to all be for a humanoid type creature? Like looking at the body parts?
Humanoid meaning like has a torso, like, 2 arms?
Yeah, bipedal, 2 arms, 2 legs.
Yep. Yeah, it all appears to be for some form of humanoid.
Okay. Does the style and size look like hewn, or are there like Dwarn sized armor and that sort of thing also?
Question.
Make me an investigation check.
Can I as well, since I'm kind of looking over the stuff?
Yeah. Do you want to make 2 separate rolls, or do you want to give one of you advantage?
If I notice that Felix comes up to look for that, I'll give him advantage.
All right, go for it.
Well, that's nice because I rolled a 6 at the first roll, and that
Well,
one
so
is a
you
19.
don't roll, Adam.
Oh, okay,
You-
sweet, because
you
I
don't
rolled a
roll at
2,
all.
so that's great. I see
So I
what
got a
yeah.
19 plus 5 is 24.
Wow.
24.
Sweet. Wow.
You are, from what you can see, and you would know best. These are they do look more dwarven in nature,
I am in armor after all.
right?
So a bit more stocky, a bit slightly wider,
Yeah,
deeper chests, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you share that with me since I'm
You said
standing
they are Dorn, or
they appear dwarven. They're not exactly the same style that you have now, or that the dwarven wear at this point in history. But they very well could be.
but it would fit a Dorn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I share that.
Okay.
And do the groupings? You said they're like grouped up in like helms, breastplates. Does that look like they're where they originally were, or have they been grouped up like by the people that live here now, scavenging?
From what you can see, the pieces that have been uncovered it's all just thrown together. So it doesn't matter, like helms, chest plates, whatever. Like all of that armor is just kind of ramshackled into piles. The pieces that you like actually would have to like search for and uncover, those all seem to be in groupings.
Oh, okay.
Council addresses the group. I have a hunch about this location. Assuming our theory about the city being split up into racial districts for whatever reason, and assuming, based on the temple, that this was the Dwarn district, and how much the Dwarn like to craft things, thanks to a bit of help from Wander, this may have been a series of outdoor forges, perhaps where they stored all of the armor for the military. There's no signs of damage, and they are organized by part rather than full suits. So it would make sense this was perhaps an outdoor armory, or some parts that have worn away and just left the armor behind.
And maybe the city extended out beyond the wall.
Potentially. Although
If
we
there
may-
were to be a forge, I have limited knowledge of them, but wouldn't there be more of a stone structure left of it than the
I
crumbled
agree.
ruins of a wall?
This may have been where they stored things, but not forged. But I'm just guessing. You're right. There would be buildings. Are there any buildings that can we see any?
No,
Maybe these were the building.
There-
Maybe if there were buildings out here, maybe either they weren't made out of stone or they were more exposed outside of the wall.
Do Dwarven make anything out of other than stone and metal?
No.
Do we know that they would not be underneath the ground?
I would.
You'd think the whole city would be underneath the ground then.
Possible. We are here looking for entrance to underground tunnel. It is possible for a forge could be underground as well.
I
Oh, I see
feel
what you mean.
your intelligence lies deep below the surface, but is greater than you're given credit for, 'tis all. I was thinking,
Bro, was
similar
that a
thing.
slam or what? I'm not
it's
sure.
an absolute definitely a compliment.
You're smarter than you look.
Thank
Yeah.
you, Revan.
I was wondering a similar thing myself. Sand is known to cover traces of the past.
Did the Magister say that this door was outside this wall or outside the next wall?
he said it was outside on like the outer city wall.
Okay. So we need to move on to find this
Yeah.
door before it gets dark.
Aye. We should push on then. Council.
I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
this wasn't a battlefield or something.
Well, if this, yeah, that's right. This, I forgot we were not on the outside. There's
Right.
2 walls here.
Me too.
Mhm.
So maybe if this is there's a second wall beyond this, maybe this is where the military presence was.
Staging
Aye.
area, potentially.
Yes.
Line of defense, perhaps.
We'll find out someday, hopefully.
There is a wall there. It has 2 sigils on the inside, similar to south wall. I think we could open it and go explore a bit more.
Okay. Council starts walking.
Okay. The only thing I didn't mention to you, Tizal, previously, when you got to the outer wall, so you saw the doorway, the sigils, there is also a bell tower.
Oh.
That's new information. Oh, by the way, I totally forgot to mention there's a bell tower right there too.
I present that to you as knowledge. If you wanted a chance to ring a bell when no one was around to stop you, you had that option.
Oh, no, he wouldn't have done that.
All right. Fine. You won't set off the self-destruct button.
Yeah, it was like you just wanted to ring the bell.
No. I'm
Certain doom. You're all doomed.
It summons the non-Godzilla. Congratulations.
Non-Zilla,
Non-Godzilla.
the tastiest monster.
Yeah, as you begin approaching the outer wall, you see that this wall is even taller than the inner straight walls by a good 10-15 feet. So this is closer to like a 40 or 45 foot high wall. When you also approach, you can see that this has a bell tower over the main entryway.
I'll say I would have wanted to check for markings when I was there earlier, like to look for a specific marking on the bottom of the bell. I'll say that.
Okay. Make me a perception check while you're doing that then.
Oh, not as good. 13.
In your haste, because it took you a bit of time to get out here and you don't want to make anybody suspicious by staying gone for too long, your search is a little too quick. You're not able to see anything.
I would relay that information prior to coming this way. I would have told them of the bell and then I looked for the marking and I didn't see anything.
Are there any guards here?
On this outer wall?
Yeah.
No.
Is this wall door and then outside, or is it like a gatehouse? Like, is there a, yeah.
There's not like it's a thicker wall than the internal walls,
Okay.
but there's not a building here. No.
Okay. So the bell tower is just above the gate. It's not like a part of a tower or something.
You might have to open the doors to find out.
Okay. I open the doors.
So it has the sigils that you have seen previously worked by Town Guard on the other 2 doorways, which when pressed by 2 people at the same time, the doors do open.
Okay.
When these doors swing open, the first thing that you can see is, while you could see the tops of the mountains in the distance, you can now see in the distance the base of the mountains as well. And you can see in between here and the base of the mountains is a whole lot of sand. Much nicer, undisturbed sand than inside the walls. But still, there's a lot of sand.
Okay.
And you can see in the hinges of the doors, so where the doors open outward, there's a door set into either side.
Wait, say
Does that
again?
make sense? So if the doors are like this, here, I'm going to do it this way. So my arms are the walls, and the hands are the doors. So the door open up. Here there is a door, and here there is a door.
Oh,
like
within
into
like
the wall.
Like
In-
into the
Yeah,
frame.
built into the wall
Into the
because
frame.
these walls are 5 feet thick.
Right.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Gotcha.
These are
Okay.
very thick walls.
Immediately make sure there's nothing waiting to get in, because it is daytime, but it is more dangerous during the daytime.
Make me a perception check.
Okay. Make sure there's no animals. Like, oh look.
Yeah, I would.
Fools!
I'd probably also do that or give him advantage.
Okay. I'll take advantage.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
It's 12 plus 4, 16.
With advantage, you got a 12.
I rolled a 3.
Oh,
No, I got rolled a 12 and I have plus 4, so 16.
Sorry, I misspoke. I want to do it.
16? No, looking out over this, you only see the sands.
Yeah, if it's just flat sand, okay. That's good.
Yeah, there are no creatures that are visible to your naked eye.
No Beetlejuice worms or anything.
I was
Not that you
thinking
can
that
see.
too. I
Okay.
was actually thinking of the sandworms from Dune.
I
I'm
start
almost done
stomping
with it.
around. And, okay. Let's check if these doors are locked.
Maybe Ring It
Yeah.
Bell will open the doors.
We are further out.
Try to open. If not, maybe I try.
Okay. Which doors are you checking?
The one on the right.
Sure, right one.
The one on the right, you open, and very similar to the temple, it is stairs that lead upwards.
Oh, upwards.
The stairwell is much thinner here, obviously, because they are fitting basically the same like back and forth structure, but within just a 5-foot wall.
Oh my gosh.
So
Wow.
you have to like it's very claustrophobic going up within the wall.
Right.
Does Wander even fit in there?
He could sidle through there.
Okay.
And is the other door locked like in
Yeah,
the
I was
temple?
about to ask.
The other door is locked.
Ah, poopy.
I try to pick this one.
You certainly
Get a nat
can.
20. If it's a nat 20 and it fails, we'll know something's up.
No, that one is. I rolled a 6,
Oh.
which is
No.
12.
12.
See, it's a threshold of I need to get it below a certain number.
You need to get a natural 1. These are failure doors.
Yeah.
No, you are not able to pick the lock.
Wanda, when you went into the previous temple as a spider, was there a stone floor?
I want to say yes, but verifying.
The stairs all the way down were stone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering
Is that what you're asking? If
yeah,
it is
go
stone,
in from
it's
the underside, maybe. I don't know.
Oh,
Can
yeah,
I-
No, yeah, stone all the way down.
Can I peek into the keyhole?
Sure. Yeah, looking into the keyhole, you see very similar to the temple and the door behind you. It is there are stairs going down, but it is shrunken in half because of size limitations.
And this is a wood door.
No, this is straight into the stone. So this is a stone door,
Oh, okay.
but it still has a similar keyhole.
How big is this keyhole? Like, does this key look like it turns a big locking mechanism, or is it just like attached to the wall?
The keyhole?
Yeah, like, does it look like if you put the key in and you turned it, would you be activating a large mechanism, like a big bolt or something, or is it like a similar door that has, you know?
Why don't you make me an investigation check?
Okay. I mean, 11.
11?
Yeah.
You're not quite sure. Locks have never been your specialty.
Okay. I'm curious whether we can do something to break the lock instead of attack the door itself.
The bell getting rung sound interesting to anyone else?
There is definitely something magical about the door, and there's some sort of barrier.
Tizol, what is between us and the ocean?
This city?
Correct. And if we rang the bell, and the enemies that have been attacking the city from the ocean somehow are alarmed by it, that would cause a problem. I do think ringing the bell is a good idea, but I am also worried that doing so would cause unnecessary death.
So we'll try in the first bell we found.
That would be my bet.
I tend to agree that a less populated area seems like a better bet.
Once we return from Yorn.
Did the south wall and the south doors that led to the first temple, did that also have a bell tower?
No.
While this is going on, can I briefly do something else?
Sure.
I want to go, after Tizal came back, I want to go up the bell tower and look at the bell on my own.
Okay.
I'd like to investigate it, looking to see if there's any kind of symbol I can find.
Sure. Go ahead. Make me a perception check.
Oh. What is my... 18.
Nice.
18?
Yep.
You are able to find a very similar symbol to the one you found in the Dorn Temple on this bell. The squashed D4.
Okay. I come back down and share that with the group.
Makes sense. This was the Dorn side.
Good find, Revan. I missed that on my inspection.
I didn't mean to judge your skills of observation, but felt it in our best interest to know if there was a spell, not a symbol upon the bell. I combined spell and bell into symbol and bell into spell.
Peer review of one's work is always acceptable.
Gathering what the Magister told us, are we assuming this is the door he was talking about? Or is there some other way that he mentioned?
Are you saying that in character?
No, out of character. I just wasn't sure if I missed something in someone's notes or whatnot.
The Magister told you that there was a similarly locked door on the outer wall of town.
I wasn't sure if it was like a trap door under the
So
sand.
that's probably it.
Yes, probably.
Fair bet.
So,
Captain Revan,
aye.
I would like to see the effect of you striking the door with your weapon. Your gun, to be precise.
Aye.
If you
Thought you
are
meant my sword.
if you are tied to what potentially happened in the city for some reason with your connection, perhaps something will happen.
Seems easy enough to try. Perhaps we'll want to back up a bit before we attempt anything of the sort.
Yeah.
May I ask?
Shield.
May I ask? We try with the compass first.
Touch the compass to the door?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say shoot the compass with the gun.
Yeah.
I was really not following there.
Throw it up in the air.
Just-
Paul!
As soon as Tizal says it, Revan just holds it up. Stop. Siri keeps turning on. Revan holds out his... I don't know why. Revan just pulls it out and holds out his arm, thinking nothing's going to happen, and touches it to the door.
I can't wait till Tizal
With the
dies on my
compass?
next.
Or
Yeah. Just the compass. He doesn't shoot it.
you pull out the compass and you try to press it up against the door. And it's similar to that feeling when there are, like, when you try to put the same end of magnets together,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's just that, like, invisible force that, like, it can't touch the door.
Oh,
Oh.
Ah,
There's,
a reaction.
there's something here. I wasn't expecting it to do nothing.
Are you interested in what's below these temples, Revan?
In hopes that it's connected to what's going on with me and
And for the moment,
everything else.
we know you will hopefully, eventually, return to your ship. And so, I'm wondering if, for the time, getting under this temple may be slightly more interesting than returning home.
Do you desire that more?
Which would you prefer at the moment?
I know not what lies beyond this door into the temple, so I don't know if I desire it or not.
Ah, I tried.
Okay, shoot the door. I'm gonna fly over here.
I stand back and raise my shield.
Okay, once everyone's back, I'll draw and fire.
Okay.
Eldritch Blast.
You pull out your pistol and point and fire. An eldritch blast hits the door and just kind of splatters off of it in that same, like, Lilo and Stitch that you're used to.
But
Well, should we head on to New Orn?
I have running out of ideas, so I presume so, yes. But we did learn that the compass is tied to this city in some way.
Before we move on,
Did you change your desires?
Council, you seem to have some good ideas about what could be beneath here, beyond the door. If you had to guess, what would it be?
Spencer, I have a thing that's tied to what I am. Let me quickly discord it to you.
you can just spell it. We don't know how to spell.
Okay.
Okay.
B-I-G-B-A-D.
BFG.
He has a guess, but he doesn't know if it's right. Is there a way I could use this to kind of point his mind in the right direction?
Use what specifically?
Let me give you the description of it. This is how it is written in the book.
So cryptic.
I'm gonna, yeah. I don't think it is.
Did I write?
Yeah.
I'm a good writer. Good job, me.
Yeah, well done. I don't know what happened to these people, but I do know it's all connected in some way. And if something is locked, it either must be where they went in their last moments, or what they're trying to keep away from future generations. I don't think it is some great beast. I don't think it is some superior evil. but I believe information itself can be equally disastrous.
Sealing away some forbidden knowledge.
Potentially. But the fact that
On
they're all locked, miles apart, in a city larger than anything I've seen before, means that this wasn't the work of a person. This was probably the work of the populace, which is
Could
even
have-
more motivating.
Could have also been a emergency escape route, and in those times it would make sense to lock them. And
With no signs of calamity or conflict?
it's a precautionary measure.
Indeed.
No signs of
Same
calamity.
way, the
There's
same way you build a fire escape, even though the building isn't on fire.
Wait a minute. Are 2/3 of the city is underwater? That's plenty of calamity.
aye.
I'm not sure if that's caused by the event or if that's caused by time.
I'm saying this could be something certainly important. It could also be something as simple as an escape in case part of the city fell.
If this is something as important as it could be, do we feel like we are physically ready to uncover such knowledge?
I think we have some time to investigate this. We don't need to solve all of the mysteries right now.
I agree.
They might even be easier to solve when we get around and explore the cities some more.
And if if your hunch, as you call it, Council, happens to be true, and that ties in to the events going on, which in turn could explain what's happening to me, which could also lead me closer back home. That could change the immediate needs of or desires
The compass tingles a little bit.
for me.
I see what you're doing.
And Revan is now starting to think that there may be a more agile or iterative approach to finding his way back to his ship.
Agile butt.
What is Revan's desire?
To get inside.
Does he look at the compass?
Yeah, he's holding it throughout
The
all of this.
Compass points directly west
Oh,
at the mountains.
He calls the attention of the party to the compass.
Now,
Look.
this could be useful.
the direction of the missing party.
Perhaps this could be a step into getting closer to home.
It seems we have a step after New Oran then.
Just for giggles, touch the compass to the door.
He does.
Maybe
Same thing. It's like the magnet.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah,
maybe the key
That's a good
lies
guess.
in the mountains.
yes.
Aye.
Anyway,
So
this-
north of then
this-
west?
This
Aye.
compass might prove useful.
Of that I have no doubt.
Yes, let's ring the bell, then go north.
I will warn everyone here. If we are being directed it is for one of two reasons. And this is what I believe at the moment. This may change. One, we are being directed to stop whatever happened to the world from happening again. Or we are being directed to make sure it continues happening for some greater reason that we do not understand.
There is an almost certainty that I, myself, am being directed from the creature. Dude, that has been in my head the last two sessions.
Yes.
Ring my bell. It is almost a certainty that the creature, she is guiding me, but her true intentions I cannot yet be certain. And at this point, I can only hope it's for some kind of good.
Destiny marches, like any of us.
I think that's a good place to end.
Ah, no.
I could tell you were getting ready to say that.
Well, because it's 9:01 and we need to end so Alex can go to bed, and so I can go pee. I have to pee so bad.
Boo, boo for going to bed, Alex. Boo.
And for peeing. Boo for peeing.
Thankfully, with daylight savings, I don't have to get up as early. So,
So we can keep playing, is what
right.
you're saying.
So we can play another 2 hours.
Yeah,
I
I'll
can
just
do
go
that.
pee and we'll hop back into it.
Do another 30 minutes, maybe, if you guys want.
Oh, I will. No.
Yeah, not for me.
So.
Sorry. Sorry.
Boo, now Barnabas is the party pooper. Boo that man. All right.
All right, gentlemen.
Ah, that was a great RP session.
That was
amazing.
That was.
Thanks for tuning in, anyone and everyone, mostly Crystal.
Bye, Crystal.
Thanks, Crystal.
Bye.
Hi, Crystal
Had
and friends.
fun.